The content presented on the following show is intended for satirical and educational purposes only. The views, opinions, and statements expressed by panelists and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the host, production team, or channel. Additionally, any third-party content featured in this program is used in compliance with fair use under United States copyright law, which allows for commentary, criticism, news report, teaching, and research. Viewer discretion is advised, and we encourage independent thought and discussion.
I can't just stand there, Jojo, and let the thing clap like Toto. No residuals to the popo, left a red dot on his top like Tokyo. I feel invincible, untouchable. I feel invincible, untouchable. I feel invincible, untouchable. I feel invincible, untouchable.
Doctor?
Cordial. I feel invincible, untouchable. I feel invincible, untouchable. I feel invincible, untouchable. I feel invincible, untouchable.
Doctor?
I feel invincible, untouchable. Cordial. I come to infinity, step in my domain, everything's slow-mo. I can't just stand there, Jojo, I let the thing clap like Toto. No residuals for the popo, left a red dot on his top like Tokyo. I feel
Who is my favorite streamer? Team Fatty! Yeah!
I tune into that man Fatty, innit? The man's a bad man, fam. Proper. Safe. Facts, my guy.
Alright, shout out to Fatty. That's my primo in real life. That vato is the real deal. Los Intocables forever, cabrón.
My favorite YouTuber. You fucking serious right now? Bitch, I'm homeless. Get that shit out my face. So who's your favorite YouTube streamer?
Is you dumb or no? It's Team Fatty all the fucking way.
All the comments would be fatty McFat, fatty, fat, oh, look how fat he is, right? Look at that fatty, you know, haha, big fun, stupid fatty. I bet he can't go up the stairs. And
Black people can't be racist. Prejudice, yes, but not racist. Racism describes a system of disadvantage based on race. Black people can't be racist since we don't stand to benefit from such a system.
and this whole march adds drama to this total
It is known in the black community that most, not all, but most black people are racist toward white Americans.
You say it's known. What do you mean? Where's your basis for that?
They have been brainwashed over the last 50 years or so to believe that America is a racist society and that white folks are trying to hold them back.
They told us we wouldn't get here. Now with those who said that we would get here only over their dead bodies. All the world today knows that we are here, that we are standing before the forces of power in the state of Alabama saying we ain't gonna let nobody turn us around.
My father came to this country with nothing. He couldn't even speak the language. But he worked hard and he made a place for himself and his family. Now why can't you people do the same? Hey, my grandfather built this country, man!
Let's talk about George Floyd. You said George Floyd's death was a terrible thing.
Terrible.
Why are African Americans still dying at the hands of law enforcement in this country?
And so are white people. So are white people. What a terrible question to ask. So are white people. More white people, by the way. More white people.
It's time to
welcome to a special edition of the Team Fatty Show. The Breaking Ground is back. The Breaking Ground is back. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are doing well. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. Um, road to 10K. Oh, we are 5 subscribers away from 9K. We are doing pretty well. Shout out to my team. I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much for always supporting us. And before the show starts, I want to thank to the sponsor of the show. Okay, yesterday, Mr. Carl Anderson. Thank you very much, Carl. I appreciate for all the love and support. Jet Live was very, very, very close, but Carl Anderson was definitely the sponsor of the show. So once again, thank you very much, Carl, for always support the Untouchable Empire, baby. As you guys know, today, of course, we have goals. 15 memberships, 50 Untouchable Empire memberships, and $100 via PayPal or Cash App for the Hamburger Fund.
I would like to buy the burger. I would like to buy a hamburger. 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 The burger.
Hey, baby. If you're feeling a fatty, hit that like, smash subscribe, and bless the Cash App at $TeamFatty8.
But before we move on and we start the show, we're going to actually make sure we celebrate our guests. Flow State, thank you very much for the $50 you sent and the reparations. It was needed, but I appreciate you. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
$50 for lobster? Damn.
It's okay, baby. You got this.
Bitch, you AI. You ain't that special.
Hey, did you know I saved 50% on my car insurance by switching to Geico?
Well, I just made this $50 AI animation to not give a fuck.
We're going to read the super chat on every platform, so please go ahead and donate. Make sure you support the content creators on this space. We'll make sure we read them all. I think Tom is doing a different way, but Tom, if you want to stop to acknowledge a donation, a question, or something like that, you can do too. I have no problem with it, okay? So, Lozzy, thank you very much for being a member, I think, of Flow State. Maybe, probably. I don't know, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Asian Nikki, saying 10% of the goal reached. Flow State too?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Agent. I appreciate you. And the lovely Misty Blue came in with the first Untouchable membership of the day. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for always rocking with me.
So, you think you're untouchable?
Let me introduce my guests. You probably know most of them, but let's go ahead. First lady Napah, she's in the building. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much. We have the, of course, fan favorite Athena. She's in the building. Thank you very much, Athena, for being here. We have my brother Thomas, legacy doctor. No, he's not doctor. Sorry. Doctor of the Womanese University. There's a lot of universities, lady. Doctor of Humanese University in the building. Thank you very much for being here, Thomas. Of course, Marte is in the building. Salute to you, sir. I appreciate you. And on the white corner, which is not a corner, the Powder Dusty. Thank you very much for being here. And finally, last but not least, the one and only Tom Foolery. Thank you very much, Tom, for being here. For the people that don't know, the breaking ground concept, we did it a lot, but we stopped doing it for a second, was a concept where Black people from Wakanda and white people from Valhalla joined together to discuss some issues, not always about race, but for the most part, about race. Because once again, friends, even though we have a gigantic black fan base, we don't want to turn the channel into a black channel. White people, Latino people, they are more than welcome. So I appreciate y'all for actually being patient so we can have a more diverse conversation. Other than that, I'm going to give us a little bit of an icebreaker. You can find all the links of the content creators and the people that are going to jump on the panel in the description. So please go ahead and make sure to follow them. There's 100 people already watching, so please like the video in all platforms, okay? Icebreaker, I'm going to give it to Miss Napah and Athena first. A white community is being built, and I have a question for them. A white-only community. Let me see where I got this video, because the video is not videoing. Damn, I can't believe I didn't download this. That's crazy.
Psych!
Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit? Who? Yeah. OBO Sound 2025.
Okay,
Fatty, I
here we
sent
go.
you a video of it.
No, I found it. It was just to buy a little bit of time. Don't worry, Marte. I appreciate you, brother. Here we go.
No Jews, no gays. High up in the Ozark Hills, in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, building houses and a new type of community. It's called Return to the Land, and it is a town open to white people only. They are millennials and Gen Z, and this is a new update of age-old prejudice.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
It's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out, even if...
Well, you don't let everyone into your home.
Around 40 people live here. Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And while the men do the physical labor, the women take care of the children who live here full time. It could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do.
You might be wondering how any of this can be legal. Return to the Land is structured as a private members association, which they believe allows them to discriminate on the basis of ethnicity, along with other factors. That has yet to be tested in the courts and may well fail. The Arkansas Attorney General has said his office is now reviewing the matter as a result of our reporting, and that there is no room for racial discrimination in Arkansas or anywhere in.
It's time to do.
Let me start with the ladies. Ladies, question. Do you have any problem with this sort of community? Especially with these circumstances, right? No Jews, no black people, no gay people. It's not just about race. It's about like a set of attributes that they want to keep there. Any of y'all, Napah, Tina, you have any problem with what they're trying to build?
I personally don't. I wouldn't like if I had a community, I would love to have a community like that. I wouldn't discriminate against race. But yeah, I wouldn't have the alphabet gang. I wouldn't have a lot of things. I love what they're doing. It's kind of sad that they only want the white community, but I don't see anything wrong with it. I think they're trying to preserve their culture. And I think that anyone can do that. I don't have a problem with that.
What about you, Napah? Do you have a problem with it?
Well, I don't have a problem. I wouldn't say that, but I do know, there are laws, and what they're doing is expressing clearly that they discriminate, and that's the issue. Very many communities exclude people from their communities. They let people know you're not welcome in the ways that are legal. However, what they're doing is taking making a stark, open statement like, hey, we're being discriminatory and that's illegal. And so for me, I take issue with that. I don't take issue with people wanting to get together and group up and be, like-minded, but you can't be in the United States and then say, hey, we're going to discriminate against people. As there are laws, there are rules. That's why we have housing laws. And I will say this, though. I did interview Dr. Eltis. He has a data bank. It's a great website that you can go and find out about the slave history of the United States and other countries. This never was a white America. America was basically founded on African slavery. Despite the fact that they were brought here against their will, African immigrants built this country, and everything from the infrastructure to the actual culture is really Black. So I want to point that out. So there is no real going back to white America. So thank you.
I see a lot of nodding, so you got it, Martha. And once again, friends, we're trying to make it a little bit structured, but if anybody on the bottom row wants to actually give a counterpoint to anything that is said above, you just have to say it, and I bring you up. Y'all can talk from down here too. So as soon as I just put it like this, so as soon as you get heated, everybody kind of know what the priority is. So Marte, you was nodding your head a lot.
I was not nodding my head.
You were like,
that's a shake, Patty. That's not.
Oh yeah, the nodding is yes. English. I'm sorry.
Now you're gonna see a face.
Stupid. I apologize. Nodding is this. So why don't you agree with what she said? She's factually wrong.
There's a lot that I have to contend with. When you say that Blacks built the country, we could talk about Bob the Builder, who helped build the Skyline Industries building over there. No, it was Skyline Industries that built this. They had to get the instruction from something to help this. Like, you cannot build something without direction, right? Behind it, you have a crew, right? We can say that they helped, but it's like, yeah, of course, we're going to give credit to Skyline Industries, their names on the building, everything. And then going back to this, when you say, yes, there's laws against racial prejudice towards building and businesses and things like this, but you can boycott businesses. If you have a shop that only wants to build a cake for straight people, just don't buy the cake from. There's plenty of other cake shops to build from. So it's like they're allowed to express this. So I think that, by the way, 19 Black families purchased 96 acres of land in Georgia to develop a safe space for Black people. They're called, they want to protect their culture, guard their safe havens and everything. But when white people do this, it's automatically racist, So going back to what you were saying, your topics of Black people built the country, I would say, yes, technically you needed a construction crew to build things. Of course, they may sound racist to some people, but let's be honest. They needed instruction and guidance from a certain people to do this. Look at Africa. Africa should be living in the year 2000, 96 right now, or 3000 right now. But what happened to that? But right now it's like we're more civilized than a lot of other countries right now.
Napah, you can reply, and then if anyone wants to jump in.
Great. I don't know what he's talking about with Bob the Builder. I don't know if that was a joke or I'm talking about real facts.
Yeah, I'm talking about the average layman.
I thought it was my turn to speak. I don't know how you guys do it over here, but it's. Notice I didn't interrupt.
We're having a conversation. It's fine. Go ahead.
No, but when I'm speaking, could you just do me a favor and let me get at least a full statement out before you jump in? You said a lot.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You said a lot. And like I said, I don't know if you're talking about cartoons and children's shows. I'm talking about actual history. Dr. Eltis that I mentioned, the stats, the information, the historical information, I'm going to pull a source for you. It is 8.4 million African immigrants were brought here by 1820, as opposed to 2.4 million Europeans. It's not just about people building, and it's not just about the brawn. They actually, the construction and the culture of America was built on African slaves interacting and working and living amongst European, which were, I'd say, what did I say? Just a fraction. You know, I'm going to tell you again because you look confused. The statistics, the information, the history, shake your head all you like. These are facts. Dr. Eltis said, this is the fact, 8.4 million Africans by 1820 as opposed to 2.4 million Europeans. This isn't about versus. This isn't about whites versus blacks. What I'm showing you and what we're breaking, the stereotype or the misunderstanding is that this wasn't just a white country. It was built with black slavery, black slaves that interacted with Europeans. So what my point is, not that it's white versus black, it's the fact that it was very much predominantly African slaves building the culture, building the land. So that kills that whole, we need to go back to whiteness. Now, what
Can you repeat those stats one more time for me? I'm sorry.
History, Dr. Eltis does the research, and it is 8.4 million African immigrants, which were brought, even though they were brought against their will, they came over and they built the country, and by as opposed to 2.4 million Europeans, which were obviously the enslavers. However, my point again is when you hear people say we need to get back to a white America, it never was a white America. It was an integrated America, which was predominantly that built on African slavery, not just the brawn, because you said Bob the Builder. I'm talking about really the infrastructure, the culture. The children were raised. The children were there. There were wet nurses. There were people learning the cooking, the singing, the music, the prayer. It was integrated. So I want to go really to you about what you said about the law. I didn't say people can't do. You didn't listen. People can do what they want. They can live where they want. They can accept people how they want. But you cannot blatantly in America, according to United States Constitution and law, you can't say, hey, I'm going to discriminate against Jews and blacks and gays. You can't do that. So when you start talking about cake makers, we know what happened with those cake makers. We know that their businesses were essentially destroyed because they made a blatant statement to the public, I discriminate against a protected group. So I'm going to repeat myself and pass the mic. You can do what you like with your communities. I don't mind if they want to just have a certain type of people in their community. The issue is you cannot blatantly express that you are discriminating against certain protected groups. It's against the law in the United States. That's all.
Well, here's my take on that. I could give two rights at.
Give me 1 second, Thomas. Let him counter, and then you can intervene afterwards. Okay.
So this totally went over your head. What I was talking about, I never once said that America was only whites or only a certain culture. Not one time did that come out of my mouth at any point. All I'm talking about is like if you have a construction company, who makes the blueprint? Where does the direction come from? That's all I was pointing to the whole time I was talking. And you went off on some tangent about, stats and things like that. I don't care how many people are in this construction company. We know the hierarchy of these companies and how they function. There has to be direction coming down. So to go ahead and tangle with your point that you were talking about, so church and religious groups now have to accept gay people into their religious practices no matter what. That makes no sense to me. So it's like I can't bend the knee to other cultures just because you're a minority and switch. And this is how we have Christianity subverted in the West, by allowance of this, an overcorrection of, hey, you're a minority, I'm going to let you, we're going to allow this rainbow flag in our church. This is the bastardization and inversion of culture in itself. When we have traditions being invaded by a subset of minorities coming in and warping things that we've had. This is how you destroy traditions. This is how you could destroy continuity of businesses and other things like this. And going back to this, you totally missed my point. I'm just going to say it again on the construction of America. And I'll land my plane right there. Doctor, you can go ahead and speak now.
Can I ask you a question real quick, Marte?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is the Orthodox Church a minority?
Of course.
Would
I
you
can
like
say that
them?
we're a growing minority. Yeah.
Would you like them to make rules over the majority of people?
What I'm saying is, I wouldn't like for somebody else to make rules over our traditions. Now,
No,
I wouldn't like this in the opposite way.
That was not my question. That was not my question.
This in the inverse.
That was not my
I mean,
question.
I just answered your question. I wouldn't like this in the inverse.
You made a statement saying we can let these minority cultures and religions and all that and ideologies pervert the majority. And then when I ask you, do you want to make the Orthodox Church, which is a minority, ruling over the majority? You say yes. So you
I never once said that, Fatty. I'm saying perverting tradition. That's what I'm pointing to.
And that's what
perverting
we're talking
tradition.
about. No, but even in Christianity,
right? But at that point, I wasn't talking about minorities.
No. So everybody thinks they are right? The Mormons think they are right. The Catholics think they are right. The gays think they're right. The blacks think. Everybody thinks they're right? But there's like this. We have to be consistent with it, right? We can say we don't want the LGBT community, which is a minority on this country, to actually rule over all. And the Jews happen all the time. People complain about a very small percentage of Jews control 80% of the media and all of these, and we're talking about minorities. And then when we're talking about, for example, the Orthodox Church, which is a minority, they you want them to actually make rules for the majority because you think
never once said that. I never said that. What I'm saying is that actually we're more consistent. 2,000 years of unchanged structure, tradition,
still minority. Gays been living on this planet for hundreds of thousands of years.
My argument is against minority majority. That's not my argument.
You're going back and saying 800s of consistency. People were fucking each other in Rome. I don't know many thousands of years ago.
Yeah, that's cool, but that's not a religion.
No. But going back and saying these people existed and are consistent doesn't give him legitimacy or doesn't make him minority or majority, right? So when we're talking about
yeah, but you're mischaracterizing my argument. I'm saying that I don't want other people to come in, like if I'm an Orthodox business, coming in and changing, because I don't go into gay communities and change their businesses and tell them you can't do certain things. I've never once espoused this. But what I'm saying is that if you have, let's say if I switch the roles in reverse and I say I'm a part of the gay community, I wouldn't want anybody changing my laws, my rules, or warping my belief systems. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying to preserve. Self-preservation is what I'm pointing to.
No, but we already do. When we think that the gay community is doing too much, we step on them. We say no, you can't do that.
We don't step on them. We get out of their way, and we might speak against that in our own communities, but we don't go into their communities and disrupt their practices.
Yeah, but their communities are our communities.
No, that's not our community. It's not our community. We separate things. We create division for good reason. And that's why when you talk about this all black town that we had, you look at the news, they'll portray this black town as like, oh, they're exclusionary, they're good, they're seeking justice and maintaining culture. But then if you look at the white version of the news when they release this, I produced some content on this last week saying that now it's racist, it's prejudice when they do this. It's the same belief system. It depends on who the arbiter of the media is.
So let me ask you something.
When whites do this.
Let me ask him, and then I'll pass it to Thomas, and I'll pull him up. Right? Would you have a different opinion if they made this in the middle of New York? Like we know those Ozarks are a very specific place. Kind of nobody cares because they're in the middle of nowhere, right? But if this was in New York, if this was in LA, if black people, Latino people, white people not only do Chinatown or Little Italy, they will literally say, no, nobody rents here.
You're talking about something that's impossible, Fatty. That would never happen because it's such a melting pot. That's why if you look at these communities, they're excluding themselves out in the Ozarks, out in the middle of nowhere to do this. They'll never go in the hub of melting pots to do this. It'll never happen.
The Jews do it in New York.
But would you change your mind if that happened in a more urban area, a place where like a more diverse place? Like, would you change your stance if that actually came true?
Are you talking about if they made an exclusionary place in a big city?
If they did what they did here, but instead of being on Ozarks and before the people, it will be in Manhattan and it will be whatever can afford. Because this is by membership, right? People all around the world.
Systematically and numbers wise, that's impossible. It's problematic because you're talking about a congested area, different cultures and melting pots. That's why the Ozarks and everything else makes more sense, because it's away from certain populaces of melting pots, different cultures blending together. So that's
you'll be against it if that happens.
Most people would. Everybody would. This wouldn't be exclusive to me, mutual exclusive. It would just be everybody.
Yes, but I'm just asking you.
Can I just add one thing?
Yes, Napah, and but please, friends,
let's not be take long. I heard.
No, I know. That's what she said. Don't pay it. It's just for everybody, right? Y'all can be long-winded. The clock is just kind of to keep us honest. So you can be long-winded, but if we're doing too much, we start to actually use the clock. So go ahead, and then Thomas, you got it.
I know I'm long-winded, so thank you for having a clock. I heard someone say the Jews do it, and then you mentioned Chinatown. Perfect examples. You do not see them saying a certain group is excluded. That is the point that I'm making. So the Jews cannot, like the Sephardic community doesn't say no LGBTQ, even though they follow Torah. You get what I'm saying? So you can't just blatantly say you're excluded. So thank you for letting me say that.
Yes, you're proving my point, though. Like, go ahead, Tom Fuller, go ahead.
And I don't know what's going on. Like, this is the second time it happens. StreamYard doesn't like the person that is on the corner to come up, so he's going to change it immediately. So go ahead, Thomas, and then we get the rest of the crowd involved.
Well, I don't give two fat fucks about them off in the middle of nowhere in their little hut, their little goddamn rut, talking about we don't want nobody else. Nobody won't go there anyway. I ain't doing business with y'all. Nobody gives a shit. Look at y'all. Nobody gives a damn. If y'all say we don't want people there, nobody gives a damn. Like, nobody want to go there. Damn, y'all see that? Who is thinking about going through there on a vacation, passing through there anyway? Like, it's totally, who cares? To your point, yes, the Jews, especially in New Jersey, my wife's from New Jersey, they got their own little communities and stuff. But the difference is you can go into a Jewish store, buy whatever you want, they'll do business with you. They got their own, like they buy like most of blocks of the homes. But as far as that video, I am not envy of them people at all.
I'd like to respond to that whenever.
I do want to correct myself. You're right. I saw the chat. It is not America only. It was the immigration of slaves. And so, but it's still, my point is that the slave immigration to North and South America, especially, and to the diaspora was like, what did I say? The stats are 8.4.
You said it was 8.4 to 2.4.
To 2 million.
Which doesn't make sense because that's inverse of the numbers we see now.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say.
And English is the language that we speak now. So nothing that you said makes any sense historically at all.
I'm correcting myself only to the point that it was not just the North America. However, it still stands. The point that I'm making still stands because
it doesn't stand at all.
No, actually, let me get the sentence out, and then you can let me know. We can go back and forth. It still stands because slaves built the country. They built the infrastructure, and the culture is still based on slavery, African slaves.
Why did I wait for you to repeat the exact same thing you've said 2 times already? That's not demonstrable at all.
It is
the numbers that you can I finish now? Can I finish? The numbers that you stated are the opposite of what we see now. So where did
How so?
Because
for the United States,
you said that 22% of people that came over are white. I did the math, and compared to the other 78% would have been black.
Yes,
that's in the inverse of the populations we see now. So what happened to all the black people?
No. So do you dispute the facts that there were more black immigrant slaves here to the North and South America? Wait, do you just, before you get going, do you dispute the fact that North and South America there were more slaves than European black slaves?
I'm disputing that in America, in the United States. I'm disputing the
so wait. I corrected myself and I said North.
Yeah, she was talking about continents.
So now I'm still standing on North and South. Do you dispute
We're talking about the United States. You said
hold on.
they built the United States.
And they did build it in the United States. However, I corrected myself and the point still stands. I'm going to ask you again. Let's take baby steps. Are you saying that there were more European immigrants than Black immigrants?
Yes.
To North and South America.
To the United States. I'm talking about the United States.
I'm talking about the entire immigration of slaves.
Who built America?
Okay. But we're talking about the United States of America.
I'm making the point.
Why are you making the broader point? We don't have a unified culture. We don't have a unified culture throughout both continents.
Why I'm making the point, because we're talking about Black culture and Black slaves.
Which one is Black culture? Hispanic culture or the United States?
No, I'm talking about African slaves building this country and South America.
So all of it is Black culture. Is that what you're saying?
I never said all. The point that I make.
Where is the Black culture?
The point that the Black culture, the infrastructure was built by Africans. Africans took care of.
Can you bring back the goalposts?
No. The infrastructure was built.
Well, time to move the goalposts again. On 3, fellas. 1, 2, 3, push.
We have to wait 1 second. We have to find the point of disagreement. 1 second, Napah. 1 second. We have to find the point of disagreement, Flo. What do you disagree exactly with what she said? So she can tackle.
She had originally said that the United States is culturally and infrastructurally American. Or I'm sorry, African. Now, I'm not speaking about both continents in their entirety. There's too much. I mean, it's just too varied to make any claim that any one group of people built the culture or the infrastructure on both continents entirely. That'd be crazy. I'm talking about in the United States. In the United States,
yes,
that claim doesn't hold.
Okay, so Napah, you have 1 minute to rebuttal, and then I want to include the rest of the panel. Go ahead.
Right. Despite the fact that the statistics, which I corrected, were not accurate, which I did retract that, it still stands completely solid that African slaves built the infrastructure of this country, the United States specifically. White Europeans did not build the infrastructure on their own, and they weren't overseeing with all these blueprints that Mr. Bob the Builder said. Black slaves they didn't just use their brawn, they used their intelligence, they used they influenced the culture, they raised the children. Black women, Black slave women actually raised the children. They wet nursed them.
But that was Marte's point. He was saying that that both did it. He was saying white and Black people both did it.
No, it wasn't Marte's point. Tomfoolery.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it.
When I came in,
sounds like it was.
My point was that it's not a white European-based country. That was my initial point. I said specifically that is a white talking point of white racist supremacists that keep saying make America.
You specifically said Black people built this country.
Been exclusively white. America has never been exclusively
so
white.
Napah, give me just 1 second, Napah.
Do you disagree with
Is
that?
anyone on the panel disagree that Black people contributed a lot for the state of the United States right now? Anybody disagrees with that?
No.
Right.
So everybody agrees. So we're good.
Right.
Everybody,
So thank you.
everyone agrees. We good.
And that was my
We agreed to something different than what you said.
And Napah was correct on the other point as well. They're like, when we're talking about civil rights laws, there are laws that protect protected classes, and so race is a protected class. There's probably some sort of legality problem with the way that they're building this group. You can discriminate based on these things for private clubs and things like that, and so that's where like churches and female only gyms fall in sometimes, men's clubs, crap like that. But in this case, I don't know how this would qualify. It's a bit of a gray area, and I don't think it's been actually challenged before. So it'll be interesting to find out. I'd also like to see if later they actually find some hot chicks to be in there. The only 2 women that they showed were kind of androgynous looking. One of them was wearing a Kangol hat and jeans. If they're trying to have like a more traditional place, I would like to see some 50 styles housewives, some sundresses, things like that. That would have been a lot more attractive to me.
Tom, they found out that
I agree, Tom. 1,000%.
They found out that the owner of the club, him and his wife, actually did those webcam shows. like they actually were sex workers,
like Andrew Tate's webcam shows,
like OnlyFans. You pay to watch
like cam
them.
girls, yeah,
you pay to watch them jump on each other, which is actually interesting. But it is what it is. Let me ask you.
Do you know before they go that when you talk about like racism and being discriminative, do you know that only applies to like the federal government and the state government? When it's private, I could sit here and say, hey, nobody but Tom can come in my restaurant. I mean, it's private.
I
like
think, I think it's actually against the rules. No. I think you can, like, for example, when black people go to nightclubs, they don't say this is a white people club only.
Right, but those are public clubs. That's the difference, is that like my house, I get to decide who comes in or out of my house. So if I have something that's like private property, I can say like, no midgets are allowed to come into my house, only tall people or something like that, right?
But for example, Donald Trump got sued like on the 70s or 80s for racial discrimination, because like the applications clearly was like, they found out that they were kind of weeding out the black applications and Latino applications and giving priority to white people, right? Usually people are, like you said, a little bit more covert when it comes to blatant segregation. On this type of,
I'm sorry. But
on this type of situation, like does the location matter? Does the people that are around matter? Like, would you guys stand, like, is there any, for example, restaurant? Because that probably is like a public business, a private business. Like, can I do a only black people restaurant and establish that nobody from outside of this community that doesn't look black or is not black can join in, and I have no problems? Anybody can explain that to me?
You can't do that in the United States. It's illegal.
But I think this is exactly why they're making this community, because they want their kids to be raised around people that share the same values. And I completely agree with that. That's why I'm homeschooling my son, so that he doesn't get exposed to those things in public schools. I don't want him to see that. And I want to make a comment on what you said, how Black people essentially helped with the culture in the United States. But when they were slaves, they weren't allowed to practice their own religion. At least from what I know, they were torn, their families were torn apart. So they lost a lot of their culture as slaves. And then one other thing, I just want to say, Doctor of Women or whatever, as soon as you got up there, you were like, oh, who wants that shack, this and that. No one gives a shit about that. It seems like you're a little defensive, like you are mad, because they looked like they were building something really nice up there. And you're sitting there like trash talking it. So obviously you do have a problem with it.
obviously, ma'am, I could give two rats ass what they do because it doesn't affect my life. I would never go anywhere that looks like that. I just came back from vacation, very nice resort. I wouldn't give a good goddamn. I could care less if they held up a sign and said, no blacks allowed. I don't care because it's not affecting me. I don't care.
And fair enough, but you were saying that their settlement is essentially trash and all that. It's all the extra that makes it seem like you do care, because there was no need for that. Actually, it looks like they have a pretty nice settlement. And even though I am fair skinned, I doubt they would let me in.
Well, the settlement, the settlement, I'm just commenting on what I see. Comment on what I see.
Right in.
No, they wouldn't let her in. They check birth certificates. They check your lineage, all this other stuff.
It looks like a dump. It looks like a dump. Don't give a shit.
No, they have a vetting system before you can get in this village or this city or whatever they're building.
Allowed to get in there.
No.
Neff, you're wrong.
We're moving too fast. We're moving too fast. Thomas, would you change your mind if that was a resort type of thing? Like if the infrastructure was the Wynn Hotel, like would you change your opinion? If would you say there's not a maybe I want to go there, maybe there's not a raggedy community if we actually had top-notch infrastructure?
Still on private property, or just like a regular Wynn hotel?
Just your assessment of what they are building. If they did the thing, and instead of, because I know what Athena is doing. Athena is a farm girl. You see what I'm saying? So when she sees that, she's like, "You're not going to call Raggedy." Like, you know what I'm saying?
Shit
So
me.
if that was if that looked like the resort that you came in from vacation, would you call it Raggedy? Or say, no, that's actually cool, but I still don't want to go there. I don't want to go there anyway.
Oh yeah, if what I saw look these, I'd be like, oh, they got something pretty good going on over there.
So it was about the what you saw built. It was not about being built by
Two
white
things.
people or
Two things. First thing, I don't give a damn about it was built by white people when they do their own control, want to do their own thing. I don't. If that's what they want to do on their own stuff, go ahead. And the other thing was, at least could have looked a little better from what I've seen, or
Okay,
give me
so that's
some
the
reason. Give me some reason to envy.
I just wanted to make sure
Yeah.
that it was not personal. It was actually infrastructure.
Yeah, what's up with you?
Athena and then Napah and Marte can go back to what they were saying real quick. Athena, is that more fair, or you think still you don't like?
No, I think it looked lovely. I personally think that something like that would be fantastic. I'm essentially doing that on my own, which is very difficult. But yeah, I think we need more communities like that so that we can, and I personally would not discriminate against race. Like that to me is unimportant, but morals, that is important. I don't want my children or child, I have a son, I don't want my child exposed to any of the alphabet gang stuff, any of the trans whatever. I don't want them exposed to the left ideas or feminism. I don't want them exposed to any of that. If I could be in a community where we could get rid of all of that, I would join so quick.
Can I jump in and address that since I think she's finished?
I actually agree with that.
The thing is, when you hear them saying gay, you keep focusing on, oh, I don't want my kids around gay. They're talking about Black people and Jews as well. Let's stop playing, okay? When you say, oh, I wouldn't want my kids around that, I'm raising the morals, what you're saying is people who are Jewish and Black equal immoral. Maybe
no, that's not what I said.
Maybe you don't know.
I specifically, that's not what I said. No,
their
no,
community is saying that. You may not naively think so, but their community is saying Blacks, Jews, gays, all of that's immoral. We don't want to be around them. So when you keep saying that's a great community, I'm going to say it again. The problem is that they're equating people of certain ethnicities and religion to something that's immoral. And
I've never seen a woman mansplain to another woman before.
I'm not saying that homosexuality is immoral over the board. I'm talking about American laws in American society. You can't say, oh, I wouldn't want gays. There's gay people in that community. They're just hiding it. But you can't hide that you are Jewish. You can't hide that you're Black or Latino or Native American or Eastern Indian or Asian or Korean.
Okay.
You can't hide that.
Black people got to stop this. Black people, you got to stop this.
I'm sorry. I can respond in a short.
Yo, chill out. Let's have one mic, please.
Let's Napah, you have to land. No, one sec. Napah, you can't. Napah, you have to land the plane.
Okay,
1 second. Goddamn, 1 sec. If I'm talking, if I'm talking, nobody needs to be talking.
Go ahead. I'm done.
This is why women can't fly planes.
Okay,
Anyway, go ahead.
Napah, can you control yourself? I'm telling you.
First of all, I said go ahead.
And that's what I'm saying.
Can I respond?
Hey, respectfully, I'm establishing what is going to happen from now on. I'm not going to cut y'all the microphones. I'm going to say land the plane. More 30 seconds. I
muted myself.
Are we going to do this again today?
Can I not respond though?
I have another hour here. I muted myself. I said go ahead.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't have to mute yourself. I just said.
Why are you?
She's saying she's done though. She just let the other person go.
I'm done.
She said she's done.
Okay, so she's done. Go ahead, Tina, and then Marte.
Okay, I never said anything. I specifically said I don't agree with discriminating against race. I wouldn't do that. But the structure of their community is what I was praising. The fact that they are creating a community and only allowing what it is that is permissible to them. I don't even care that they're racist, to be honest. I don't tell people that they can't be racist. It's actually their right to be racist, even if I don't agree with them. And do you see how concise that was? Short. Done. Thank you.
Well, you may not care that they're racist, but they're clearly saying they're racist. They're not mincing any words. And they're saying, we're racist and we discriminate against gays. Next thing it'll be, we discriminate against people in wheelchairs. That's why in the United States, we actually have laws protecting these type of groups of people. So you may not care because you just don't see it, but it is racism. It is sexism. No, it's racism, and it's discriminating against people's religious beliefs. So I will go on and on because for some reason the people that don't
you just like to hear yourself talk, and it's annoying.
Going, hey, it's
let me ask you.
I haven't insulted you.
Napah, let me ask you a question.
I haven't insulted you personally.
Napah, let me ask you a question.
If you'd like to go there,
Napah, let me ask you a question. It's fine.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. It's
fine.
I
don't like when people pretend that they don't see that
Can I ask you a question, Napah?
Yes, ask me a question.
If black people decided to buy a plot of land in the Ozarks or whatever the thing is and decided to build Wakanda, only black people, nobody gets resources, you only get in if you have vibrate, like, would you be okay with that?
If they said only blacks can be here, I would not be okay with it. Hell no.
So you maintain the consistency. You would say, I don't want these people to just gatekeep. You would open Wakanda to the world, right?
If they came in and said only blacks can be here, it is wrong.
Okay, so you're against segregation, right? You're against segregation, period.
It doesn't matter what I'm against. It doesn't matter how I feel.
He's asking your opinion.
You cannot say in the United States, hey, we don't want gays and blacks here. You can't do that. It doesn't work.
No, but I'm asking your opinion. If you could do it, like if I could do it, like my point about segregation is, hey, sometimes it's actually needed and necessary. You see what I'm saying? Like sometimes it is. Like Martin Luther King, by the end of his life, he said that my biggest mistake was actually sending try to integrate with white people. I sent my people to a burning building. By the time he was done, he actually changed his mind. He was like, maybe I should actually, instead of going there, we should build our own thing and do our own thing and move along. But for whatever reason, once again, like we kind of got to a place where now everybody is mingling with each other. If we have the opportunity, I think a lot of us, like Athena, would choose to live with people, live next to people that look like us, think like us, walk like us, go to the same schools, have the same religion. I think actually you come from a part of YouTube that either shares the same religion or the same values. No? So what is the connecting tissue that actually unites the people from on your side of YouTube, for example?
The connecting tissue for my
the conscious community.
We like to have discussions, debates. Debates connect us. That's what really connects.
So there's nothing bigger than what we do here on YouTube. There's no Hebrew Israelites. There's
there's Jews, there's atheists, there's
okay. So it's an inclusive.
There's black.
Yeah, so it's an inclusive society. No, she's being consistent about it. Let me just get Marte here. And then quick rebuttal from quick rebuttal from Thomas. And by the way, friends, once again, when we moderate panels, we're trying to make this a little bit easier. If y'all want to fight, I will let you fight. Let me know in the private chat, and I'll let you do whatever you need to do. Okay? I'm not against fighting. Y'all know me, but I need clarification of rules so I know I'm not doing too much and I'm not profiting of two people smacking each other in the face. Okay? So again, the private chat is there. Y'all can tell me what you want me to do. Go ahead, Marte, with the rebuttal, and then Thomas. And if you see people, it's not my fault. Thomas is being sent to the bottom for no reason, so it is what it is. Go ahead, Marte. Thomas, you can reply, and then I want to involve Tom Foolery, the Powder Dusty, and shout out to Glenn Lars for joining the show. I appreciate you, sir, for being here. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Marte, uninterrupted.
Napah, I want to address several points that you made. You said that, we can't have people hiding, right? In the Black community, we have down low brothers. This happens all the time. Matter of fact, Black women will tell a cautionary tale of being, I don't know if I want to go to Atlanta and date men because, they got DL brothers over there. There's subversive groups in every society, in every group, in every clique that we have. Megyn Kelly was outed by Andrew Wilson for being a covert feminist. We have covert subversive people in every community. Being hidden is very common. It's happened very often in society when we had this. And not to mention this, but when people get exposed, it's a good thing. I think it's good, right? But also I think that segregation is good to some degree. When we have religions, I think that we shouldn't have things like Judeo-Christian doesn't exist. It's not a thing. It's some political term that was made up a long time ago. There's no such thing as Judeo and Christian, but somehow we conflate these things. I think that segregation is important when it comes to religion with certain things. I think that it's good for communities to want to maintain some culture to where it doesn't get invaded by other things. Like we complain about cultural appropriation all the time, right? We'll say, well, the N-word's bad, right? Well, who made up this N-word? Aren't we culturally appropriating a word made by them? So it's like, so this happens all the time. So when you make points like, being hidden isn't good, or you're making your point about, no, people don't hide. They hide all the time. If you found out that your hubby back in the day was just sucking all kinds of D back in the day, you'd be pissed because he'd come out because he's DL. So I'll land my plane right there because I know how to land planes. Go ahead.
I know how to land.
You know what?
I'm sorry.
I feel like Black people, we got to stop this. We got to stop this trying to be accepted and liked and forcing people and like us because we're Black, because of our plight, because we went through this in 45 and stop.
That's like
trying
racial simping.
Stop trying to force people to like you and include you and make sure they have a sign that says, hey, Blacks, you're allowed to. Stop trying. I don't need their validation. I don't care if they like me or not. I don't need none of that shit because the white man ain't stopping me from doing whatever the fuck I want to do in my life daily. The white man ain't coming to take my stuff. They ain't burning no cross in my yard. This ain't that time of day. We in 2025 and we got to stop seeking for validation and being liked.
You're talking about racial simping.
Can I address that, please? And what Marte said is what actually it's strange. I don't know what. Am I being muted when I say I'm not being included? I don't care to be included. I'm not. I don't care what they're doing. I don't know why this is so hard. It's actually shocking that people.
You just said it. You just said you had a problem with the Blacks and Jews. You just act like you had a problem.
Our argument was very clear. Our argument was very clear. 1 second, Napah. She said our argument was extremely clear. It's not that I care. It's about the law. And when I gave her the position about if it was Black people, would you be okay with it? She said no too, because it goes against the law. So
yeah, but I don't know about that.
1 second, please. 1 second. We're not going to do the validation and we want to be a part of it because nobody on the panel said that they wanted to be a part of that community, to be honest. The only Athena, I have an extra positive position about what they were doing over there in the race part. But I don't think nobody on the panel said that, oh, well, yeah, no, I want to go there. I need a village. No, we just said, once again, this can be multiplied. And is it like Roe v. Wade? Once you establish a precedent, you can't stop that anymore because, once again, if people say they can do it, now everybody can do it. And it's not that it's affecting you right now, it's that might be built in the back on your backyard. And now we have a problem because instead of being in the middle of nowhere, it's on Thomas' backyard. And now you don't want your kid to just go around the street and they say you can join here because you're a little bit too brown. Is that
why is she talking about the law though?
Daddy, wait, did you
that's what it says. Private property. How do you talk about the law? That's totally wrong. That's totally wrong.
No, but that's Napah's turning racist right now.
Please let me do this.
1 second, Napah. 1 second, Napah, because I want to make sure of one thing.
Yeah.
Does this breaks the law? Because let's dive on the law thing, right? Does this break the law? Because Tom Foolery told me If it's private, like we had some exceptions as the
well, that's
the
why I said
gentleman's
it
club.
hasn't
Yeah.
really been challenged in this way before. That we
Yes.
don't really have like precedent for it,
No.
but it does seem to have like some gray areas in there. So we're not
Thank
exactly
you.
So
sure.
it might break the law, but why is she telling us about the law anyways?
Well, this
Because
is
that's
why
obviously
it's
that's
in here.
obviously
Because there
not
are
where morality comes
anti-discrimination
from,
laws.
and nobody asked you what the law thinks about it. Asked what you think about it.
Okay, I will answer you, but I know people have an issue with me talking.
That's what
long,
I was
so
speaking on, by the way,
I'll try to
Powder
be
Dusty. I was
concise.
speaking on that.
I'll try to be
Napah,
concise.
the clock is in the middle. You can
I
look
got
at the
it.
clock.
This
okay.
brother down here, Dr. Womanese, you heard him say, I ain't got no crosses burning in my yard, and I can do that's because the law made it possible. If we start changing the law to where, like what Fatty said it very eloquently and very well, if we start letting these little things happen with these gray areas, we're going to go back to you having crosses burned in your yard. We're going backwards toward Jim Crow. So thank you. I'll hand the mic over. That's my point.
So what do you think about it?
What do I think about what? People being able to say, I don't want these kind of people around?
Yes. Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that. You just can't say, hey guys, we got a community. I'm keeping all men out and all blacks and all handicapped. You can't do that.
Okay.
That's the issue.
You just said conflicting things. You said
You
there's
just
no
contradicted
problem with
yourself.
it. Yeah.
Sir, listen.
I think this is the problem that we're having, right? Just because someone is explaining something doesn't mean they agree with it, right?
Yeah.
I think when we say she's saying two things, it means that she's explaining what the law is and she's explaining what she actually.
But I
if she has
only
a
want
problem or not.
I only want her opinion on it because the law is obviously ambiguous here.
So let's take the law out of it. But I
Right.
think I asked her because I asked, would you build Wakanda like Napah? Honest.
People
And
are
on the
doing
Bible.
that already.
And on the Bible, Napah, you had $1 trillion. Somebody comes to you with
this already.
That's
no, but
not your opinion.
But would you do it? Would you yourself do it?
Would I discriminate against race and people? No.
Yes.
Because unlike
What about gender?
I don't equate race with moral or immoral.
That's fair.
I don't do that. But if people want to, we already do that. We already do it in a way that's legal. We say, oh, we don't like these people in our neighborhood. So they make it harder for those people to be around to where those people want to leave. They stay in the parameters of the law. So my issue is they can have a white community. People do that already. They can have a Chinatown.
Where?
The Sephardic community, the Sephardic community in New York. But for me personally, no, I wouldn't want to live or have a community with just Black people or just Latinos because I'm Dominican. I wouldn't be like, no Black people, just Afro Latinos. That's crazy. No, I wouldn't personally. So back to the law, though.
Why do you keep hiding behind the law? The law is not where morality comes from, and it's not where your opinions come from. There's lots of laws, and has been throughout history, that are immoral.
Yeah, but I can't. Powder does what your name is Dusty. I can't stand on. I stand on the fact of the law because it protects people like me and like other people.
It also attacks people like you, and has historically.
Yes, but the thing what he said. I'm going to go back to burning. Well, people still get their crosses burnt in their yard and things like that, or there's sundown towns. But there is a law that we can revert to. We can go back to the law and say, "Oh my gosh, thank goodness we have this law." Which people are going to challenge that community. I'm not going to be hoping that they get shut down, but you cannot, because what we're doing philosophically. Let's get okay. They're coming out and they're saying, "Hey, we don't like a certain group of people, and we're going to make it to where we don't care about the law, and we're gonna discriminate, and that you can't do that in the United States. So I have to stand with the law."
Can you at least agree that the law doesn't mean anything unless it's enforced? Because we have immigration laws, but that shit didn't get enforced for how many years? And then all of a sudden, people are mad that ICE coming over. All of a sudden, the law's been on the books the whole time. So laws are irrelevant unless they're being enforced.
But I think, for example, when it comes to
that's
ICE,
true.
people are not mad at ICE for doing their job. They are mad that ICE is doing their job on an unlawful way. So she kind of right, because it's not about
what is the unlawful way if they're executing orders?
He's put in a ski mask no identification, no nothing. Get off the car, grab you, and put you on a white van like it's like
That was not in all cases. That was actually, I was here.
They had to call a state of emergency to be able to implement the ICE laws the
But you
way
see what
that
I'm
they
saying?
are,
I
which
think
is
if they
crazy.
say police freeze, like the usual cop movie
Right,
thing,
so I give you a second to pull a pistol and shoot me. Why would I
but
let
that's
you
the
know
thing,
I'm right
now,
there?
Blend. If on the United States everybody has guns,
You
you
have-
coming out of the car
one,
on
you
a
have
ski
to-
mask,
but you have to
I think
understand
it's a
that-
better way for you to get shot because I don't know who you are. You may try to
You
steal.
have to realize, like in the cases that you're referring to, those are strategic, tactically done and drawn up for a specific reason for the individual that they are trying to apprehend.
Oh bullshit! You're giving way too much. Nah, I've been raided
Yeah.
before, and these
Well-
are not well done. Lots of times, they've got an address and they've got guns.
I don't know what they do in Kansas, Flo.
It's the,
I'm
why
just
do you
saying.
think it's different when ICE does it?
Because different agency, different training, different expectations, So
yeah, but when you're saying for specific
circumstances,
they're doing mass raids like this. They're doing mass raids in this sort of way and taking tons of people in this sort of way without showing themselves, showing their faces. If they get attacked or beaten in some sort of way, they don't know how to identify one officer from the others to say who did what right or wrong. There's like a ton of problems that are wrong with this, and they do mass raids in this way. So it's not for like specific.
Well, officers, safety is also important too, and for them to do their job and not to have any retaliation because they're doing their job correctly, and having them or their family be at risk because of that, because they showed their face. I think that's okay.
If somebody doesn't know if they're the cops or another gang, for instance, they're doing their job poorly. If you
They
show
normally
up
come
in
into
plain
these
clothes-
vehicles with like lights and shit.
Is that how they come in the house?
Well, no, not unless they drive through your house. Unless you got to drive through.
If somebody shot one of them, like that's what
everybody
I think
knows
I
that
think
if
about,
they
like
do
somebody
announce
shooting one of
themselves,
them.
it's actually by law they have to announce themselves as they enter into a premise. So even
Sure,
if they're kicking
once
in
they
your door,
once they arrest you, they have to say who it is that's arresting you.
no, once they're
for
kicking in
federal
your
rules.
door, they have
For-
to announce themselves.
What about the state
I think
operations where they
that's-
just
I
come
think
in
that's
and
state laws. I don't know about federal. I think in federal they only have to announce themselves once they're.
And I bet you they
arresting
don't
and
do it.
saying
They're
what
rounding up
department is
way too
arresting
many
you.
people way too fast.
But I want to get back to like this the concept here of what's the difference between segregation and separation?
What's the segregation is a type of separation.
But I think segregation is being told where you can and cannot go, and separation is choosing where you decide to go.
So
I separate myself
sure,
from
segregation is like
some
enforced,
dumb people, right? So I choose to not be around certain people because they irritate me, right? I separate myself from them.
Yeah, that's a pretty good distinction. Isolation and enforcement. Big difference, right?
So if you choose to not involve or interact with a certain group of people, how is that wrong at all?
That's not wrong.
Well, again, there's tons of other problems that can come with this. Like even when we're talking about like homeschooling to keep your kids away from certain types of people. One, you're just making sure that your kids aren't going to be prepared for the real world, so that when they do go out in the real world, they're going to find out that there's a ton of other groups of people that you brainwash them to make sure that they didn't have any clue existed. Two, that if people are growing up in this
That's
type
a
of
whole lot
community
of cope
and
there.
eventually. How is that cope? That
Because you're saying I'm brainwashing. I'm
No,
brainwashing
that's
my kids that
completely
these people
false,
don't
Tom.
exist.
These kids go
Yes,
to after
I'm
school
saying-
programs. They have a coach. They get sent to practice. They can play in sports. They actually have a communal setting where they can play with other kids. You're not talking about kids just isolated in the home like a boy in a bubble.
Wait,
like back in the day
no,
with
hold
that
on.
movie.
Wait. No, if we're
This is
saying
not Remember
people
the
are
Titans,
purposely
guys. This is
trying
not
to keep
Denzel
their
and
kids
Remember
away
the
from
Titans.
these people, and now you're saying, oh well, no, they're not actually being kept away from them. We do let them go around them. Okay, well then what the fuck? You're not actually trying to keep them away from them. Then, so what's the
they're
idea?
only
What's
letting
the
them
fucking
around
idea?
Would you say
like-minded
the same thing with crackheads? How about crackheads? Are you worried about crackheads?
Well,
Can we separate crackheads from people? Where do you draw the
Crackheads-
line that we could,
on things that are actually bad and harmful? I think crack is actually bad and harmful. I don't think black people or gay people are actually bad and harmful. So I think
somebody
there's
could
a
be
big
like, oh, you know
difference.
what? Crack is fine. I'm fine with crack. I think people could be like, have that argument too, right?
Sure, you can have that conversation, but I think
It's a
that we
stupid
can all agree
conversation.
that
That's what
crack
I'm saying.
is harmful. I think we've got some pretty
Yes, crack is harmful.
simple scientific data.
No, I think the LGBTQ mentality is harmful. I mean, I'll debate
I
anybody.
don't even know what
else.
that means. The mentality.
And
Like,
So,
the mentality.
but going back to his point, he
so
said that what was the
hard in
problem
public
with?
schools.
Go ahead, Thomas.
But no, you good. He said, what was the difference between, segregation and separating? And it says choosing not to be around. So when you go back to that first video, to me, it looks like they just chose to, on their property on their land, just chose to say, nah, we're just going to have our own thing here. So I'm trying to figure out, what is the problem with that? It's not like they're coming out and saying, putting flyers on the road. Hey, y'all don't go down there. They're just saying, hey, this is just our own land, our own.
Yes.
This we gonna
I
do
don't
our
think
own
it's
thing.
that big. I don't think most people actually care about it. Like, the only thing is whether or not it actually fits the law. But most people don't even seem to give a fuck. And I think they're more now like trying to get people to care and trying to get people upset, because they're a little upset that people aren't as upset, that they don't have as many lawsuits as they were expecting. And so I think they're now getting a little frustrated that this wasn't as provocative as they had hoped it would be.
They'll take the framing, and when they show the black community with 86 acres that they bought, it's friendly, it's nice. They're trying to have cohesion and save their, purity of whatever they have, right? But if white people start talking about this in the media, it's racist, it's prejudice, it's all this. It's a lot of the media's portrayal of this. So it's like, if I'm going to feed a dog a pill, I'm going to wrap it in meat. The media does this all the time. They'll paint one person in a certain race, they'll paint another in the next. This is very obvious.
Tom Fuller, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about black people. Tom Fuller. Tom, let me tell you this. They're not going to admit it, but black people are racist as hell too, bro. A lot of stuff that black people do, they get away with it today. If the white people would do and say some of this stuff, I'm telling you, bro.
Fatty started this panel off saying this wasn't going to be a white community.
Time out. No, because all groups are racist. All groups.
I said most.
All groups are racist.
I didn't say it wasn't. I said most.
Let me finish, because I can't finish. I can tell you what I didn't say what you said. I'm saying all groups are racist. All religions discriminate against other religions. All groups, men discriminate against women. Like, people are tribalism. Is if we are YouTubers and if a bunch of TikTokers come around, we are going to feel, hey, bro, because we know how TikTokers go crazy, right? So there's an in-group thing. We are going to be tribalist, and a lot of times what happens is where the Lakers or the Celtics, we are it's going to happen. The thing about it is, a lot of times is what type of, let me mute Thomas real quick because I have no idea what's doing in the back. So what happened is, a lot of times people don't have power to actually be like, my racism might not be powerful enough to actually stop you. Like, all the time people say, Ferry, you are from Portugal, you sound like a Russian, why are you here? Why are you talking with Americans? Why are you talking like you're not even black, right? But they don't have power to stop me. I do whatever the fuck I want to do. If you don't want to watch me, go watch somebody else. Go watch an American. Go watch, like, you see what I'm saying? So the problem becomes when people are actually gatekeeping, meaning I'm Portuguese, now all of a sudden, hey man, Marta is American. I'm going to discriminate instead of actually pushing competency and people that are actually competent to be on the panel. I'm going to push people that either I like, are around me, are like me. That's when we actually have to have these conversations. And what Thomas is saying is that, okay, black people are racist, but Dr. Farah Khan calling white people white demons is not going to change their life at all. White people.
Well, but everybody hates Farrakhan, though. Like, everybody hates Farrakhan, though. He's a piece of shit.
That's the thing. But if the same way with the Grandmaster of the Ku Klux Klan in 2025, nobody gives a fuck about those people, right? So if you say
the problem with all of this is precedent. That, like, if all of a sudden we have something that just says, hey, I'm a private club, so now I'm going to discriminate based on race, and now everybody says, okay, well, my grocery store is a private club, my bank is a private club, my barbershop is a private club, like, and everybody starts to discriminate based on race, to where we go back to fucking Jim Crow. Like, that's
fully, they do that already. They do that.
How?
Yeah, they do that. I'm gonna tell you why. When I say the system, let me say let's say establishments. Some investment brokers, you got to have $20,000-$50,000 minimum to invest. This country club, it's a minimum $50,000. You see what I'm saying? So they have certain type of parameters set up where only certain types of people are going to be able to afford the line. And let me take it closer. Black community, the brand new Ralph Lauren line. that was a very upscale, affluent. A sweater cost $400, and it was targeted to African Americans. But it wasn't targeting to include all African Americans. It was only targeted to the
You're just
more
saying
affluent.
discrimination exists. That doesn't like all discrimination to some extent always exists, but that's not the same thing. When we're talking about like
But to
discriminating
your
based
point,
on
it
skill,
is.
hold on.
Your point, yes.
Hold on. It's not. I'm saying that like if somebody discriminates for a job, to like you have to have a certain college degree or a certain amount of skill to get that job. Yes, they are discriminating based on your skill or your college degree, and that college degree costs money, so you at least have to have some money to get that college degree in order to go get that job. They are discriminating based on a number of things, but it's not on the immutable characteristic aspect. Those things may correlate with immutable characteristics. If Black people are more likely to be capable of affording a college degree, it may correlate with that characteristic, but it's not discrimination based on the characteristic. And those are very separate.
So why the DEI? Why DEI?
Thomas, it will be like saying Ferrari discriminates, right? Not that if you don't have money,
there's a country club. There's a golf course out here. There's a golf course out here in Orange County that I can't go to because I have tattoos that are visible. You know that?
Oh,
I'm discriminated against. Do I care? No. That's what they want for their group and their club. That's their bylaws. There's a golf course that I can't go to because I have visible tattoos.
Really?
Yeah.
Most golf courses are private clubs.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I just go to the ones that I can go to.
Characteristics. You can remove tattoos.
No, they're permanent. They're permanent now. It hurts getting them on.
Tattoo removal for permanent tattoos.
That's true, but I don't want to go through all that. Okay. I refuse not to.
That's who he is. I mean,
That's what I mean, immutable.
Okay, but I mean, like, not okay, immutable, not to the point where it's actually you could do that right away. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I mean, but yeah, the problem is that even by that standard, like at that point, like race isn't immutable because Michael Jackson became fucking white too. And like, I don't, there's lines that we can draw. I think they're like tattoos because you choose to get it. It's a very, like, we wouldn't consider it immutable characteristic.
Can we get the raise of bands real quick? Because I want to go to the
so my plight is not viewed here. Okay, I get it. My plight of being tattooed is not accepted here.
Sir,
you're on your own.
I'm also
Sammy
tattooed.
Sosa is still black, even though he bleached his skin, so it's immutable for him.
Marte.
Well, I did want to answer the other question though. Because like DEI was never like a hiring practice saying that like you hire more Black people. That was affirmative action. A lot of people conflate affirmative action with DEI, but affirmative action was overturned by the Supreme Court for the same reason that you can't discriminate based on race. So they couldn't do affirmative action anymore. DEI is something to where you're supposed to like have groups come in to make your place more accepting so that if a Black person does come work there, they're not going to feel excluded and leave. So if you have like a high recruit that's a Black person and they come in, they're not going to be like, well, I don't feel accepted in this place. These people all want to touch my fucking hair and shit, so I need to get out of here and go somewhere else. Like that's DEI more so than affirmative action.
Let me get the raise of hand real quick, right? Who doesn't have a problem with what they're doing right now on this community?
Personally?
One second. Raise of hands. Everybody. So only Napah is a problem with what they're doing. Okay, she's saying personally. So Napah is against it, right? Now let me.
I'm not gonna protest it, but I don't think it's. I think
in principle, on principle, you kind of like, I don't like what.
Yeah, I think it's even without the law. I think it's just crappy. Like
okay, so let's do this. What if these settlements became the norm around the United States? Raise of hands. Who has a problem with that? Okay, so Napah.
Hold on. Say it again.
I didn't hear the question
again. People don't have a problem with this specific settlement because it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, small size, irrelevant. What if this becomes the norm? What if instead of one, now you have 400 all around the country, urban areas, rural areas, affluent areas? Would anybody have a problem with it? Raise your hand if you would have a problem with it. Okay, so now we have Tom Foolery has you have a problem with it, Tom, too? Okay, so my question will be to the people that don't have a problem, and I'm going to leave Glenn over there, and I'm going to bring Tina didn't have a problem with it too, but I want to see, like, Flo, why would you have a problem with it? And Glenn, why do you are okay with we having 400 of these all around everywhere in a bigger scale?
So my issue, I'm kind of on the fence. I'm not sure if I have a bigger. I think that race is a stupid way to segregate. I think it's a stupid way to make determinations about somebody. Obviously, there's in both directions, right? I don't like all white people. I don't dislike all black people. It just is a dumb metric to use. So I dislike seeing people doing things that are more stupid. That said, I don't know that I would want the law to get involved and in people's free association. So do I like it? No, I don't like it. Would I do something to stop it? I don't know that I would, though.
Glenn?
Yeah, I think if people choose to separate themselves amongst, other communities or separate themselves from certain groups, I think that's their right, and they have the right to exercise that and live that way, and that should be fine. There's pros and cons with that, and they're gonna have to deal with those pros and cons in separating themselves, whatever they are. But I don't think that someone should be forced to have to live next to somebody or a group of people that they don't like if they don't want to, just to make everybody feel included.
Let me get Marte and Tom.
Okay, I'm going to pair it off of what Powder Dusty was saying. He basically took the words out of my mouth. So I think that it's a bad metric to use if you're going to separate people by race. But I will say this, though. There are certain races that have certain things that they do as a proclivity because of cultural norms. We only have baby mama culture in one culture and all kinds of other things in other cultures. So if you think about this, we have to separate sometimes because we want belief systems to be separated from other belief systems and things like this. Case in point, if you notice when people say that I want to move away from a black community, they're getting away from certain culture. They're not saying race when they say this. Now people can say, well, you're thinking racist. Well, I want to get away from violence. I want to get away from gunshots, from all this. And then I want to go to a property because I want my property value to go up. When whites move in, property value goes up. I hate to tell you, I'm just spitting facts.
Are you talking about black people, Marte?
Huh?
Are you talking about black people, Marte?
I'm talking about black people. If I'm around a bunch of black people, I can't wear noise canceling headphones. If I'm around a bunch of white people in the affluent area, I can wear them all day and I'm not going to have any problems.
Let me ask you something. It is about color of the skin or economic power. Like
economic power.
If you hang around like I Show Speed and Bronny James, like, do you think that will be like problematic? Like, would you rather be around rich black people or trailer trash white people?
It's culture. It's not the race, it's the culture. That's what people are moving from.
Exactly.
I just want to make sure, for example, when a black person is on the neighborhood, right, and they get $1 billion, they don't go to Beverly Hills because there's white people there. They go there because they're where the rich people are, right? So they are not running away from themselves. They're running away from poverty because now they are a target.
See a different kind of crime there. It's going to be different. You might see white collar crime, so you're not going to leave crime, but it's just the level of crime. You're not going to see graffitied up buildings. You're not going to see people snatching persons. We've seen this in California, but I'm just saying, making a general statement here. That's it.
You see graffiti everywhere. I live in a white country, very kind of the fourth most peaceful country on the planet.
Okay, Fatty, let me ask you a question. Would there be more or less?
More or less what?
If you had black culture increase, would there be more graffiti or less graffiti?
No.
Graffiti. I want to answer your question. The thing is, graffiti is something kind of outdated. You see what I'm saying? When I say graffiti, I would say if you were more affluent, for example, you would see people wear more fashion over dresses. I'll give you that. Or
I would say
graffiti is outdated. So Napah, I'll grant you this. Yeah. I'm talking about crime. Crime in general, would you have less or more crime?
If you have poverty, you have more. If you have less poverty, you have less. The thing about it is, it's not about race, because affluent people or people on the middle class are not stealing.
When you said affluent and then poverty, you're basically giving me this distinction already.
No. I'm saying that, like, for example, you talk about baby mama culture. White woman actually started that shit. In reality, white woman actually pushed feminism.
You can say this, but think about
it, because it's not cultural. This is what happened on the
Baby
Black.
mama is a cultural term. What are you talking about?
But this is what I'm talking about. Portugal has a 70% divorce rate right now. Most women are actually having kids outside of the wedlock. That's not a cultural thing. It's just feminism. Women don't need men. Women don't have to actually be need men. They don't value marriage.
I think what he's saying is what culture or what subgroup is it more accepted?
Let me just finish. They didn't start doing that because they saw Cardi B or Meg Thee Stallion do it. They're doing that because the biggest religion in the West right now is feminism. It's like every woman is.
But that's not true at all, Fatty. Black people had higher rates of divorce and higher rates of single motherhood before any of that happened. And they currently have 3 times the amount that white people have. So for you to say white people created the culture, but black people have always done it higher rates.
I think what Martin is saying is,
I need to check. Glenn, I promise I'll give you that, right? I'll give you the chance to rebuttal. But the thing is, who are these people? Like, what are these people socioeconomic status? Because once again, and I'll say it again, if black people actually had better relationship between man and woman and we solve the relationship problem, the households would have more money. More money will give you better schools. Will give you better equipment. Will you have access to better after school?
Sure, but you said white feminism created that culture to where black people went and did it, and that's the part that I'm disagreeing with.
And how did you disagree with it? Because so if feminism pushes the man out of the house and make this I'm strong and independent woman, and now this strong and independent woman have one income, so now they're dependent of the state, and now these kids are being brought into poverty and now are perpetuating the. Wouldn't we, if we solve relationships, if these women actually were like Marta said, more traditional and they wanted the man in the house and all that, wouldn't most of these problems solved?
But welfare isn't feminism. Like welfare is just like a thing for it's
individualism.
Okay, I guess
feminism will promote individualism. If woman wasn't, if woman couldn't be benefiting from the state and having all these type of subsidies, Section 8 and all that, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. So
but I think that initially the idea, if you even look at like how like all of it was proposed, the idea was that like the man, if he's not capable of providing for his family, will be able to get welfare and provide for his family. It wasn't like, well, she don't need no man because the government's going to take care of her. Like that wasn't
but that's where the problems come from. Because if I'm on the house, my kid is not outside.
Sure, you're saying it reinforces it, but that wasn't the idea. You're saying the ideology is what led to
not
this.
Reinforces it, it creates it. Because now instead of these,
okay, sure, it creates it, but it wasn't. I'm just saying it wasn't like feminist ideology that led to this, because the idea was for like it to be a family thing.
No, it might be not a direct intention, but
it was less family than for family, Tom.
It might not be a clear intention, but it was a part of the collateral damage, and this is what we're talking about.
I agree that like obviously the way that like it makes it to where women are less likely to want a second income in the household, makes it to where the kids are less likely to grow up with parents. I obviously agree
with that. Let me just wait, and then Glenn and y'all can have it, right? If there was men in these households, meaning there's $40,000 more dollars, there's more discipline, there's more like, do you think that most of these problems will be solved? Do you think most of these kids actually wouldn't turn out better than they are turning right now? Do you think if you put a man there and this man brings $40,000?
Yeah, to an extent. I just don't think that has anything to do with feminism. But yes, I agree that like welfare has something to do with that for sure.
So why do you think women in mess are not actually getting relationship with men, not staying married? Relationship life is because of what? If it's not feminism, what it is? What is making this woman just choosing? I want to be a baby mama. What is choosing? What is happening?
Well, one is that we have more options and resources like condoms. The birth control is a lot more affordable now, and so it's a lot more accessible to where more people are going to be capable of getting it. 2, abortions are a lot more accessible and easier to get. 3, the fiscal financial situations to where people want to wait later in life to actually start families so that they don't ruin their chances at going to school or working and having to take time off for having babies early on when they're still trying to prove themselves. Like there's lots of reasons.
This is more feminism the more you talk.
Wait, that's not feminism. That's just fact. That's just a fact. Like
no,
that's just true.
This is leaning more towards individualistic lifestyles and feminism. This is like coinciding.
No,
with
hold on.
It's
I didn't say
analogous.
that's a good thing. He asked why that's the case, and I said that like this is what people are doing, but it is the fact that those resources are more available to them, that more people are going to take advantage of that.
But do you understand that feminism capitalized off of this and magnified this to where they prevent dads from coming in the home? Because if dad moves in, they're going to cut my check off. So now we've eliminated 2 dads from that home. Feminism took God out of the home, and then they took the real biological father out of the home. So it's like when
so
you
it's
say
the idea is to make it to where they have the resources,
like leaning more
we
towards
have the
feminism,
technology.
bro.
Yes, you're saying we have the technology, we have all the resources available to them. We just shouldn't let them have it. Is that the idea? You're not allowed to have it.
This is a magnification of feminism as a result of this. So if you take something and
you're not answer my question, please. Answer my question. If we have the resources, should we say if we have the resources available, should we just tell them you're not allowed to have it?
Case by case scenario. But now we've had a culture around this that's enveloped around this. And not only does this culture support this, we're having propaganda push this even when it's unnecessary. Birth control inserts it. 98% of births are, when you delete babies, it's elective. That tells you automatically it's just propagandized culture. When we have black women come in, we literally had a hip hop artist twerking outside of an abortion clinic. How crazy is this propaganda coming?
I'm sorry, I don't think people twerking outside of an abortion clinic are making people get more abortions. I think that the fact that these things are just available to them more often means that they're going to take advantage. Hold on.
So who's on welfare the most?
People are going to take advantage of the resources. That's it. Like it's as simple as that. If the resources are there, more people are going to take advantage of it.
As much as
There's
I like
no way you're going to tell me that somebody
bandwagon,
working outside of an abortion clinic is taking people away from this and not incentivizing culture, making it cool. That's crazy.
It's not going to make people get abortions, but it's normalizing it and making it okay. Then this is the
that's
problem.
making people get abortions because it's becoming more normal and it's leaning more towards the left, even more.
Yes, and once again, I want Glenn to join in. I'm just saying again, I don't want to put blame on a woman. Okay.
No,
I'm
gonna take a take here. I'm gonna say, as much as I want to blame this on feminism, guys, we do know that it was men that actually, really pushed this idea, and we actually men benefited from a lot of these things that, like the birth control pill and abortions. Like not all men, but men of less or low standing or value, right, or moral status. They encourage that. Guys, we encourage hookup culture. When I was younger, I encouraged girls to hook up with.
Glenn, you're talking about corporations. Corporations made the pill. Corporatocracy.
I know.
I'm
saying, but
the very few, not the majority.
Context, man. You got the context.
Well, even men were at the forefront of feminism. Like men were by far the majority of people who said that women should vote. So it's a distinction without a difference, is what I'm saying. Is that men were at the forefront of feminism, but it still was feminism at the end of the day. Like by far, when we're looking at like the amount of people who said that women should vote back in the day, it's about like it was like 75% of the people who said that women should vote back in the day were men. It was by far men who said that women should have the right to vote. So it was by far men at the forefront of the feminist movement who were really making these things happen.
So you're saying men gave women all their rights?
That's what I was trying to get at. That men do have an accountability.
In order for women to get rights, it would have had to have been men give it to them. They couldn't have gotten rights otherwise.
I'm saying we do have to acknowledge that as men, like men have led us here. Men have put us in a situation that we are in today. Either lack of leadership, failure to be that patriarch and lead the home, because there was that problem too. Men not being good men. Because you said, if we put men back in the home, things will change. No, you have to have good quality men of value, men of standard, men of moral good compass, right? Not just any man. You need to have good men. There's a difference. There's always going to be a patriarch. And either you're going to have like an evil patriarch or you're going to have a good patriarch, right? That's it.
Glenn, I'm going to push back against that.
No. Let me just say this. You know what's funny? We can play this game, right? If it's not woman's fault because they grab feminism, which is kind of a good thing because you're making woman a first-class citizen, and they put it on hyperdrive and they fuck everything up, right? And it's the man's fault because the man gave him those powers to do so. So you can blame black people. It was white people that did welfare and Section 8 and all that shit. So coming here and saying, no, it wasn't the woman because the man gave him those rights. I'm not talking about you, Glenn. I'm not talking about you individually. I'm saying if we're going to follow that logic, you can blame black people too, because black people never had control over their woman. You went from slavery, colonialism to Jim Crow, and then from Jim Crow to just nothing. Because as soon as he ended, black women were free, and now the government is subsidizing all these things. I think it's ridiculous. I think definitely the black community should hold each other accountable, even though there's some things that were pushed to make the conditions like the way that they are. I will not blame the white man from Stacy just wanted to have 3 kids from 3 baby daddies in whatever white neighborhood it is. We're going to look at
The problem is ever saying one or the other at any point. Like if you ever if you ever say one or the other at any point, you're taking away all of the context that surrounds it. If it's ever white people did it, you're taking away context. If it's ever black people did it, you're taking away all the context.
Can we do 51%?
Well, I mean, I think people.
Can we do 51%? 51% is fair, right? Because we put in accountability.
I don't know 51% on what.
He's saying 51% of the blame on black people so that they take responsibility for their own lives.
Yes, well, like who is like, because we know the pre-existing conditions that happen with women and with the black community. Woman was oppression, right? Black people was clear oppression, right? If we take the shackles and we take everything, and now we're talking about 2025 and the state of the black community, would you put 51% of blame on who? On the people that actually contributed for the state of it, or on the black community for not standing up and rising on these 60 years that they've been free?
The individuals who choose not to capitalize on the opportunity that they have at their exposure.
But can we do a whole thing, kind of generalization, 51-49?
Sure, it'll be. If the black people have a problem with the black community, it's the black people's problem.
Okay, everyone agrees. Everyone agrees.
Agrees. If black people have a problem with the black community, it's the black people's problem.
Like the majority, if we are going to give a percentage of guilt, 51%, would it be on the system that was instated before, Jim Crow, redlining, and all those things, slavery, or is on the black community? If you were to give 51% of the blame, which one would you give, Napah? Black community, majority, or on the state of the country before actually black people were free?
Well, the problems come from social constructs and post-traumatic slave syndrome, but we do have to take responsibility for the state of the community.
Is that a new disorder?
I actually never heard of that.
I know. It's Dr. Joy Degree. No, Dr. Joy Degree. She does all the research on post-traumatic slave syndrome. It is actually a fact that trauma is in. Why are you shaking your head? You don't even know. I'm talking to Marte.
Marte is very expressive man. It's like,
yes. So
I don't play poker well.
Can I have a question? I have a question. I mean, I want to inquire real quick.
Trauma, and I just wanted to say, trauma is. It's a fact that trauma is encoded into your DNA epigenetically, and that has a lot to do with what's wrong with black people.
How long does it last for?
Well, it depends. It depends on how you deal with it.
Okay, then we all have it because every race has been enslaved.
I never said.
Yeah, true.
See how you just said that? Did I say that black people have the cornered the market on it? I didn't.
You were talking in context of black people. Yeah. So if
she is talking about context of black people, but if our last generation hasn't been enslaved, obviously it's not going to get passed on to the next generation. She's saying, well, hold on. She's no. She didn't say it's not necessarily just slavery. I mean, even stuff with like Jim Crow and things that can happen afterwards. That like if people grow up in certain scenarios, disproportionately, even black people just growing up in like poorer neighborhoods disproportionately and having a harder time making ends meet, that like if that disproportionality is still being passed on to the next generation, that is still going to disproportionately affect the next generation, whereas just as the opposite way. So it would obviously if white people came out of this faster, they're not going to have as many problems with it.
But Tom, do you see how
about this? Like,
one second, please. Do you see? I just want to make sure that I just want to make sure I point this out, please. Tom, do you see how he's about money and not about race? Because you kind of admit it right now. Well, if you are saying one second, if you are saying that the place where I live, if I live on an impoverished area, now my community doesn't have money to invest in schools and infrastructure and all that, is not about culture or race. It's about money. It's about.
But if the money became a problem based on race, if it became a problem because of discrimination based on race, you can't separate the two. If that was what caused the problems with the money in the first place,
fair.
then it's
I'll
not
give,
one or the
I'll
other.
give you that. That's fair. That's fair to say. Go ahead, Napah. Sorry for interrupting.
No, it's okay. So I don't know if your name is Dusty. I heard somebody calling you something different, but anyway.
Flow State is my other channel. Powder Dusty is my new one. I respond to both of them, so either one's fine.
Is his stripper name Powder Dusty?
So Dusty, I'm saying I'm not disputing that. That wasn't my argument, because the Irish have some similar issues in their country, and even in America, but more so that the slaves, the African Black people who were the slaves, and all the trauma that they've experienced, it's really like it's a psychosis, and it keeps being passed down. And it's not the only thing that stops Black people. I'm not giving Black people a pass for killing or being violent or doing any crime, but you asked a question. And so, yes, it has to be addressed about it being epigenetically encoded, and then the social constructs that are set up. So it's like a vicious cycle. And so you can dispute it if you like. I'd be more than happy.
Doesn't this sound more like a birth defect?
No, it's not a birth defect. It's not a birth defect, because I know that sounds funny to her. It's not a birth defect because it actually is a trauma. An epigenetic trauma means something from outside. They did research on mice, and mice.
The mice.
They did research. Scientists, meaning scientists have done research on mice, and what they did was, I believe it was a grape or a berry, but they did something to harm the actual adult, the parent.
She's right. I saw this.
Yeah. So
is it a real thing?
Somebody reads and does the research, because
it's not even just in mice as well. Like even just the idea. Well, even just the idea that
there's a problem with the mice experiment, though.
Well, it's just that even just the idea that like humans, obviously, if they're going to have stress, it's going to affect like their biology. It's going to affect their diet. It's going to affect like a lot of parts of their life. It's going to affect their brain. And so obviously these sorts of things are going to be like passed down from one generation to the other. It's not like that difficult.
There's a problem with the mice experiment, though. When I read this, you didn't see mice as grandchildren, whatever that would be, experimented to see if they carried this. So when you're talking about slavery, how far are we removed from this? And it's like, I can understand if my dad went through slavery, I would get this. According to your mice experiment, that's correct, right? But my grandfather is my grandfather. There's no way that they've proven that this is followed direct lineages, skip my dad, and then went straight to me after it passed through him.
Well, wait, that's the same thing for all genetics, though.
How do you know if this doesn't get removed? It's crazy.
That's the same for all genetics. It's the same, like if you have two parents with blue eyes, it doesn't mean that your kids are all going to have blue eyes.
Exactly. That's my point. That's why it's flawed.
It's different.
So let me just say this.
That's why it sounds like a birth defect.
No, but no, you actually no. It's not a birth defect, but it's something that's on your DNA. Your grandparents can be 7 feet tall, and nobody's 7 feet tall from him to you, and then now your son is 7 feet tall because these genes, a lot of times they disappear or they stay dormant for a while and then they pop up on the next generation. I'm not saying, once again, I didn't see the studies. I didn't say what I like to actually talk about what happened. No civilization in the history of mankind rebuilds in 60 years. It's impossible. It's very difficult. And the ones that did benefited from extreme external help, like Germany with the Marshall Plan and Japan and all that, right? For the most part, once again, African countries and the Black communities in the United States have been free for 60 years. The first time we are seeing billionaires. 20 years ago, there was barely no Black billionaire. So the things are moving. They're just moving slowly. Meaning you probably need more 60 years. So Thomas kids now can inherit property. Now they are not barefoot. They're actually stepping into something. And now tomfoolery kids and Thomas kids.
Well, the problem is that it's well, just real quick. It just.
But let me just say this.
Actually, it's not. Well, just. I'm sorry. I'll let you know. It's not actually. I have been explaining this, but it isn't like necessarily true that it's like encoded in our DNA or genes. It is. It like it's a lot more complicated than that. But it is like that is like the most simplistic way of explaining it.
Okay.
I like to say something.
I don't think that that's affecting it enough. I think more so diet affects genetics a lot. Actually, what you eat can cause certain genes to be expressed or silenced. I think that affects a lot more than what, and I do know about that rat study because I mean, I was in school for biotechnology. I do know a little bit about this. So I just think it's a huge, what would I say? It's like running away from accountability. Whenever it comes to genes, again, you have genes that are, that will affect certain things, but like, again, it'll pop up somewhere else. But to say that it's affecting them on such a large scale that's just.
It sounds like white supremacy to me. The genetic argument actually sounds like white supremacy to me.
Her name is Dr.
All right,
Joy.
so hold on,
Her name is Dr. Joy.
let me say this though.
She's doing decades of studies on it. I'm glad you took a class, a biology class, but she's been doing decades of study and research on post-traumatic slave syndrome. It's interesting.
Okay.
Really
sounds like
let me say this. Before the 1960s, if you want to go back to 1965, if you want to go back to 1965, if you want to go back to 1965, if you want to go back to the Jim Crows, okay, I get it. Culture, some may have affected black people. Going to go back to slavery, all that genetic shit. Forget all that. Today, black people have it the best that they've ever had it. Let me tell you this. Welfare participants. Blacks are number 3. In prison population. Hold on. No. Hold on. I'm not done. You don't have the mic.
Yo, chill out. Let's have one mic, please.
Thomas, Napah can respond. I want Glenn, final statements on the issue, read the super chats, and then we go to the main event, okay, friends? So go ahead, Thomas. I'm going to restart the clock. Let's be brief, 1 minute intervention.
Right. So once again, welfare, we not even leading a race on that. Federal inmate population used to be flooded by us. We're number 2 on that, behind white men. We're not even leading the prison population. You want to come down to actual killings by police? We're number 2. We're not even number 1. Those could be questionable, whatever. We're not even the number 1. We're not even leading it. So all that Black Lives Matter crap, we're not even leading that. And when it comes down to increase in income in the past 5, actually, we're not leading it at all.
In proportionality,
we're not leading
in proportionality
per capita.
No.
It's so the difference is that you're
let me finish this part. Let me finish the part.
Okay, go
ahead. Let me finish this last part. There's that last part, and you can respond to that afterwards. When it comes down to increasing income in the last 5 years, we are right behind where ours is 17 point some percent. The highest is like 19 points. So what I'm saying today, there is no excuse for African Americans to keep saying this. Well, because 5,000 years ago when they had to change them, this is the reason why we can't do what we do today. I'm not buying it. It's no. You can miss me with the studies, how the electromagnetic waves can still connect chains from slavery and then tied to our DNA system and handicapped us mentally. Fuck all that. Nah. If I'm doing a lab rat, a sewer rat, a mice, I don't give a damn if you're doing it on a gerbil. I don't care about that. I don't get and no studies is going to prove me. I'm not having a problem doing what I need to do in this world. It ain't been because of color of my race why I have not been able to get stuff accomplished. As a matter of fact, I've gotten more accomplished than a lot of black people I know in the past 5 years than they've done in their whole lives. And I've been out of society for 8.
But there's an individualistic point of view, Thomas. It's like the Queen of England saying, I never was oppressed. It's like, okay, Queen, I got you. But kind of, you see what I'm saying? I get
we get whatever we want. All we got to do is scream and they're going to give it to us.
I say this, like we've been having these conversations for a while, right? You can acknowledge past atrocities that happened to you and still tell people to strive for greatness. We don't tell Jews to forget. We don't tell Irish people to forget. We don't tell women to forget. 9/11, never forget. Like we want people to remember what happened to them. You just don't have to be stuck there. You
Doctor,
can strive for greatness.
I think
So
if black people have it so good, why'd your internet freeze up a million times during that whole speech?
he said that he was doing better than ever, but his internet connection started to do.
I don't know what
I
you're
got
talking
three-
about.
I
Fetty.
got-
I remember.
I got three Wi-Fi
I remember-
boxes. I got three Wi-Fi
it's
boxes.
fine, Thomas. You're good. You're good. It was a joke. Let's get.
Fatty, I remember when World War II happened, everybody said, like, let's just ignore it and it'll go away. I remember when, like, slavery was going on, everybody's like, let's just ignore it and it'll go away. Like, I remember all I don't know what you're talking
but
about.
what would be the
That's
correlation to
definitely
what we're having right now? And then Napah and final thoughts from everybody on the bottom, please, so you can go to the super chat.
Fatty, I do have one question. I don't want to offend nobody. Just one
But
question.
when I do that,
Was there
they say
6
I
million?
talk so much. He just talked forever, and now he's talking again, which
Can
I
I?
don't
Can
mind.
I? But you have the mic on. You always have the mic. I just got one question.
I don't always have the mic.
Thank you for your observation. Thank you.
Is this
Thank you.
the ADHD battle or something like that? Like what's that?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know. Thank you for the observation. Let me ask you a question.
let's
I just want a question.
Go ahead.
Was there 6 million people? Was there 6 million Jews on planet
comment.
Earth?
No comment.
One word.
No, we're not going to do that on YouTube. We're going to Rumble to have that conversation. Nobody's going to fuck up my multi-million dollar
I was just trying to.
No, I want to be rich of YouTube. Nobody's going to fuck up with my shit. We can talk about the Jewish community, Israel, but Holocaust numbers. Sorry, not on Rumble. And once again, shout out to the 9,000 subscribers we achieved right now. I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. Come and all my friends come on this ride with me. So please go subscribe to them. All the links are in the description. We got like 3,000 subscribers in like 3 months, something like that. So the future is bright, okay? And I appreciate every single one of you in the panel that actually helped me get there. Other than that,
Buddy, you deserve it, man. You've been putting in the work. You've been putting in work.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Glenn. And I'll say this once again. I'm a very I believe in reciprocity. I won't forget it. So Alban preach, here we come.
Fatty, can I say something nice? Can I concede to Napah for one thing?
I think there's going to be comments.
She whooped your ass because she made your screen look like you had Atari pixels on your whole screen. So I mean, kudos to her not freezing up. That's all I got to say. No beat though.
Don't worry about Napah. She has a nice. She actually is more dark skinned than me, to be honest. Today, but I'll.
We doing colorism, Fatty? Now is that we?
I'm a dark.
I'm actually off my phone. I'm actually off my phone today.
I just wanted to,
man, bro.
I wanted to say, just like there was so much that he said, and you know it's interesting to see the blackest person.
I could have it on this.
Get on here and talk about how great his life is. He's a black male. We know that's not true, but does that?
Wait. What did you say? You know it's not true. What?
I want to go back to what I originally said. It's funny how every time I say something, it's twisted. It's strange. You asked me
true?
You asked me if I think that black people should take 51% of culpability for their position in society. I said black people have to be responsible, not even 51%, 100%. But we cannot ignore post-traumatic slave syndrome, which we all know that everybody's okay with post-traumatic trauma, post-traumatic syndrome, they're fine with that. Everybody's okay with that. But once you start saying, well, the trauma from slavery, we had like everybody saying, oh, that's ridiculous. So black people should be 100% responsible for themselves. But like you brought the Jews, our Jewish brothers and sisters, it is a fact that they had a serious trauma in history and things that happened to them. And we have to be hypersensitive and very understanding about things going forward with them. Same thing goes with Native Americans. So it's so interesting to see, again, if I look at the panel, the most black person or African American is the guy who was just like going on and on telling us how everything's great for him and why are we upset? And I never said black people can't make it. I never said things weren't better. In fact, I said it's better than ever now for blacks. But we have to acknowledge that there is some mental illness. There's some mental illness from the trauma.
So why do I have to acknowledge that? Why do I have to acknowledge that? Because you're referencing me. Why do I have to acknowledge that?
Because you're a black man.
So what? Why do I have to acknowledge it?
You don't.
What does that do for me? What does that do for me and my family?
Guess what? You can keep smoking on that thing that you're smoking on and pretend with their big fat ring. Let me tell you one thing. If anybody could just give me a minute. When you listen to Dr. Joy Degree, she tells us about why black men predominantly wear big chains and they wear big rings, because they have always had a problem with their worth. Because this isn't me. This is her teaching. The worth where they had been oppressed, locked out, preschool to prison, modern Jim Crow, the issues that black men face. I guess we're not going to act like that's an issue. Okay, fine. But not you, but a lot of black men face that. So they express their worth with big chains, rings, the cars.
What about investment property? What about investment property? What about investment property? What about investment property?
Lock the cage doors at this time.
Get the fuck out. Simon says, get the fuck out.
No, you're going nowhere. I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
Okay.
I told you I'm not averse to fighting. Y'all have 5 minutes to resolve your differences. Then we go to the super chat and to the main event. And once the clock stops, don't talk, please. Go ahead.
Time to do.
Go ahead, Thomas. You were talking. Finish your point, please.
All right. So what you said, Tom? What you talking about? Yeah. So you said this report says that, oh man, black men, they don't know their words, so they gotta wear the pinky rings and they gotta wear the chains and they gotta do this and they gotta do that and yada 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 yada. Well, this black man is going to continue to wear his chain, a real modest one at that. He's going to continue to wear his rings. He's going to continue to drive his Mercedes Benz. He's going to continue to vacation in his own properties. He's going to continue to have insurance for his kids. He's going to continue to leave a legacy for them. He's going to continue to be married. He's going to continue to raise his kids. He's going to continue to take care of his families. He's going to continue to be a productive member of society. And he's going to continue to make well over 6 figures every year with ease. So all those studies, I'm very comfortable in my skin. I'm unapologetically black. I'm unapologetically me. I'm not going to take up any social cause just because I'm black that doesn't benefit me and my family. I'm not going to put myself in a struggle and act like I identify with every single struggle of black people today. That's the decision to put them in positions to struggle. That's just racism, not the police coming in our houses. Absolutely not. That you can't pull that shaming tactic on me, because I am going to think for myself. I'm going to be unapologetically me. And if you know me, this is just normal. As a matter of fact, this is very dressed down day for me. But I'll make sure I'll go put my bigger piece on the next time we on the panel today and put my other 2 rings on the next time we go. I'll make sure just for you. Go ahead. I'm done with
Thomas,
it.
You are cutting in and out, Thomas. So if you have another computer,
we got him for the most part of what he said. Napah, you have the chance to respond.
I'm on my phone and these Bluetooth.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Go ahead, Napah. You have a chance to respond.
All right. Well, he obviously is triggered. The fact is, this isn't about him personally. This is about black men in America. And the facts are that I guess, watch out. See if when you have another conversation about driving black and all this stuff, make sure you get at him and say, nope, no, we don't want to hear from you because you said you got it perfectly fine. I never said black men can't be successful. My husband's successful. My brother is a physician. He has 4 practices. My family, I have successful Black men in my family. That's not my point. My point is there is post-traumatic slave syndrome. That is a fact. And that there are social constructs. What is the issue with this Black man trying now to convince us that he's got it great? And by the way, he's making he's triggered. He's making like a mockery of his own self, putting on more chains. You're making my point. You wear the chain, Dr. Joy Degree says, you show more of your wealth because Black men in America have had to do that because they had to struggle to have value or to have things of value. So, I mean, we're living in a capitalist society. I'm not going to go on and on. His feelings are hurt. Hispanic men and Black men are the most impoverished men in our society. And I didn't say anything about you personally. Black men are struggling in society, and Black men are doing the most murders and the most murders in society. I don't think you're doing the murders, but you are a Black male. So I don't know what else to say. This is kind of like, for me, I feel bad for him because he's hurt, like triggered. I think Marte may be a Black man. He looks ambiguous, but any other Black man would say, yeah, that is the truth about Black men in America and Black people. So again, my point was that there are social constructs and there is post-traumatic slave syndrome, psychosis, sociopathy, psychopathy that affect Black people, that keep the vicious cycle of crime.
10 seconds.
I mean, I'm sorry that it triggered you. Okay, I'm sorry.
Now these represent.
Buckle up, everyone. It's time for some super chats.
I'll both of y'all split 2 minutes and a half. I told you 5 minutes. We're good. Okay, so let's.
My ancestors, man.
Let's make big problems, small problems, and small problems, no problems. Red Lipstick Vibes with 1 untouchable membership. Thank you very much, Red. I appreciate it. We have Marcus Antonio on the Powder Dusty Network with 5 memberships. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. We have Sextius. I don't know, friends. The YouTube is fucking up with the names again. He gifted 1 untouchable membership. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. I don't know none of my
Yeah, you guys have ats in your chat. It's something that I've seen a lot of different YouTube chats all of a sudden have ats instead of their names, but mine still has names.
Is YouTube when they go under maintenance or something like that, they start to do that, which is kind of weird. But it is what it is. So thank you very much. Once again, I appreciate you. We have King Sony in the building saying y'all are gaslighting her. Thank you very much. He comes back and he says, y'all don't know what she was saying. She explained it very accurately. Thank you very much, Sony. We have my boy Carl Anderson with a 5 untouchable memberships. Thank you very much, sir. I truly appreciate the love, the sponsor of the last show.
I believe that there's multiple so-called Black leaders who believe that they are untouchable.
And I really lost my button. I don't know where this is the untouchable empire, baby. That's crazy. So thank you very much, Carl. We have Sony back again and saying the great Minister Farrakhan is not 80. Thank you very much. We have Hunting Wisdom. She gifted 1 untouchable membership. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Salute, salute, salute. Thank you very much. Again, we have Jessica Jane. She says, happy Saturday on Flow State side. Thank you very much. Happy Saturday to you too. We appreciate you. We have more 12 to go. The Raging Patriot on Flow State says, for the cracker, like Thank you very much, sir. Jessica Jane, member for 2 months, saying, let's go, everybody. Thank you very much, Miss. We have Buddha saying, I'm doing my part. Appreciate you. Josh, with 2 Australian super stickers. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you for the love. We have Lady Zarex in the building. She says, congrats on the 9K fat. Super proud of you. 10K. Let's go. Appreciate it. Try to get it next month. Cake Mix is in the $5 super sticker. Thank you very much for supporting Flow State. And we have only Mr. Bill, only a Mr. Bill, $2 in Sydney Sweeney jeans bad, black trauma jeans good. Kind of. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. We have Sean Fuller. He says, see how she trying to shame the brother now. LMAO. John Henry is in the building. What's up, John? He says, the fuckery from Napah is outlandish. Damn it, Tina, you're nodding. That's crazy. Don't try to pick up a fight. And Agril Police, he gifted 10 powder Dusty membership. Let's go. Finally, I think he's fuck simps. He became a member, so thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you. John Henry with a $10 ball. Thank you very much, sir, for the $10. I appreciate it.
Let's go. We got $10.
Sir, do you have any change?
Nah, motherfucker, I'm broke.
It says everything she stated was unsubstantiated and a goddamn projection of ignorance unchecked. Fatty, check your asset for actual facts, stats of on murderers per the FBI. Damn. Hey, Johnny, I have the link for you if you want to come up.
I don't think anybody disagreed with that. Nobody
TV,
disagreed with that, though.
Shadow Dragon TV, $5. It says Thomas is not only successful, but he gives the money game to everyone for free who is willing to listen. That brother is a better example than most. Thomas' legacy is from rags to riches. The Thomas legacy is very generous, man. And finally, is that Cat Kiss? Did you change your name?
That's
Shout out to her for the $50 ball. We're going to play the video just for Flow State. Shout out to
for
Cat.
lobster? Damn.
It's okay, baby. You got this.
Bitch, you AI. You ain't that special.
Hey, did you know I saved 50% on my car insurance by switching to Geico?
Well, I just made this $50 AI animation to not give a fuck.
Thank you very much, Kat. I appreciate you. Once again, thank you very much for the 9K subscribers. And on my side, I want to thank Mr. Tio for gifting the first donation for the Hamburger Fund. Tio sent 30 succulent dollars. So I appreciate you, Tio. Thank you very much for all the love and support. If y'all want to support the show, we need more $70 via PayPal or Cash App. And we need 4 members, so you know exactly where to find us.
If you're feeling a fatty, hit that like, smash subscribe, and bless the Cash App at $Team Fatty8.
So, friends, now, Tom, do you want to read anything? Because anyone is streaming on other platforms, they want to read? No? We good? Okay. So
now, didn't you say that at the end of the stream we're going to add up who's more generous, whites or blacks? Did you say that?
Wow. You try.
Maybe I made that up.
You're trying to get burglarized, right?
Actually, black people are going to donate more because they have this issue with not feeling worth enough, and so they need to show off their wealth in YouTube chats, and so they're going to donate more.
According to Marte, we are going to steal your wallet, Powder Dusty, in 5 minutes. Like, we are going to fuck you up, sir.
You getting jacked, bro?
Because you think you are getting money, you are going to get stripped out of it. And speaking of the devil, Thomas Legacy saying, I can go super chat for super chat. So shout out to my boy Thomas legacy for the $70 ball, completing the hamburger fund. Very much. Thomas is a sponsor of the show. We need only four memberships to get to all the goals. So, friends, the main event, the reason why y'all are here, the Cincinnati beat down. That is not a brawl. That was a motherfucking beat down. Okay, so we are going to make sure we be safe with YouTube because there's a lot of people restreaming. There's 400 people watching in all platforms plus Tom. So let's go with 500. Thank you very much for watching. Please go ahead and support all the content creators. And if you want to find any of them, go to my description. All of the links are tagged. Okay, let's put the ladies up there again. And we're going to go to the
another 130 over here, I think. So
you see,
what is that, 700 overall.
Ooh, look at us, huh? Look at us being famous. This is white people and black people working together. Shout out, not black and white power. Let's go.
Like how America was made.
As a Portuguese citizen, that got me very upset.
I don't know how Portugal was made.
USA. So, friends, let's actually talk about what happened in Cincinnati. So, we kind of know the brawl. We can play the video. You guys know what it is, but you know where to find it. We're going to play how it started, and then we're going to actually delve into some pictures and all that, right? So, how we started this is we kind of understood like what is happening, right? So, sounds like there was a bunch of white people that actually are Russians. Okay, these people are citizens of Russia. I don't know if they are nationals or they are tourists, whatever. Everybody went to a jazz concert, if I'm not mistaken, and then afterwards, problem started. So I'm going to play the video of how we started, and then play a couple of pictures.
I don't think they did go to the jazz festival. From what I heard, none of them actually. Yeah, none of them were part of it.
Okay. So I'm going to play once again the video of how we started, and then a couple of pictures because it's very YouTube not friendly. So we're not going to play the brawl. So here we go.
Hey, these niggas is funny playing the Russians.
Oh yeah, sleep him, yup. Get him up out of here. Get him up out of here.
So they were already almost fighting. Everybody calmed down, and then he give him a slap, and then you know the rest of the video. Everybody stumped everybody, and as a end of festivities, this is what happened to one white woman that tried to separate the fight. She ended up on the ground looking like Undertaker. We hope she's good, by the way. Shout out to her. The other people, debatable. Her, don't think she deserves it. Hope she's good, right? So, let's see what we got.
Time to do.
Tina and Napah, do you think this was racially motivated?
Am I going first?
Yes, you're being
Okay.
quiet.
It sure does look that way, but I wanted to be better prepared, and I did a live on TikTok, and what I heard from other Black people is essentially that they do this in their own communities, regardless of race. And so it could have been another Black person and the same outcome essentially would have happened. Not saying that I agree with it. Now, as far as the Russian guy, I don't really know. And I don't really know what his issue was. There's not really the backstory that I've had on that. But I mean, as an American, what I see is someone who's not American picking a fight with someone who is, and you don't go into other people's countries and start fights. And another thing that I also heard from people who were actually passing by when this happened is that that's normal for that area. So you don't go into another country and behave like that and have a expectation that nothing's going to happen to you. People were saying that he was maybe ignorant of there's a
Somebody's doubling up.
Yeah.
I think you're good now.
Okay, but essentially saying that he was ignorant of the culture or what goes on. But regardless of anything, he was a grown man, and I don't know if it was racially motivated on his side or the other people. But from what I've heard from other people, they don't think it's racially motivated. But I'm kind of on the fence on that one.
Napah?
Do I think it was racially motivated?
Yes.
No, but I believe that the beatdown, the way they beat those people up, had some race involved. Was because of race, because of the animosity, because of the issue, the climate of America with race, and like I was saying earlier, when a couple of people got upset, she just said the culture. That translates. I agree. It is a culture. She said, Athena just said, Black people said to her in TikTok, this is how we do it. So that goes back to, and I will stand on it, and when you do the research, that goes back to having a history of violence, having a history of post-traumatic slave syndrome that encoded into you, the community of violence. Whether you like it or not, it manifests itself just like it did. They had some animosity with him with being a white man, and the way to do it was violence.
Can I
so
ask
are
you
Black people more genetically violent?
No, it's not about.
It sounds like that's what you're saying.
No, I'm talking about a history and a culture. If you are raised in a culture of always killing and fighting, you're going to kill and fight. It's not about Black people. You really got to do the research on what I mean by epigenetic.
I'm asking you. I understand what epigenetics are.
Okay, I'm saying,
and what you're telling me.
I'm not exactly talking to you specifically, but yeah.
I don't know how what you're saying is not white supremacy.
So let me ask.
Supremacy, because the people are. It would be white supremacy for me to say, "Oh, Black people just act like that."
So let me ask.
You said they're. Go ahead.
No, I just want to let me ask you something, right? If there was instead of a Russian white man, there was a Black man and he got slapped, do you think they would fight?
They would have beat him up, but I don't think they would have stomped him out like that. I don't.
No. But that's the thing.
All the Black people would have stomped him out like that.
Of course, Napah. But that's the thing, right? The woman only got one slap or one punch. She didn't got 70,000 people because people kind of pull back once they see, okay, he's a woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
What we're talking about is, at least for the beginning of the fight, this is what y'all taught me. I literally said this on the other show. When I came to Fight Club, I was always the let's break these, let's not do this. I still am on my show. I kind of messy, but I don't like people just to fighting for the sake of fighting. And people call me the moral police. And one thing that they told me was, once you start a fight, Fatty, you can expect to tell the other person how to finish it. Right? This is what people be saying. The Kyle Rittenhauser situation. You go running after the dude. The dude has a gun on his hand. Hey, I don't know if you guys wanted to kill him or something like that, but you can tell the person how to end the fight. And most of people.
That's a dumb saying, though. It's a dumb saying, though, because like there's proportionalities. Proportionality matters, and how you react to something matters. Like saying one guy slaps one person, therefore 100 people can all come and beat the shit out of him and stomp him out and kill him. Now. Like, that's just a ridiculous statement. The problem is, the problem is that from what I saw, there were witnesses who were there who said they heard the Black guys saying ahead of time, let's go fuck with these Russians. And so that like, and then the first part of the clip is we see them kind of like jostling, and then the white guy smacks him. So if the white guy like is the first one to make contact, it seems like he's asking for it a little bit. Like if you got a group of black people there and you just go up and smack one of them, you're kind of asking for it. It doesn't mean that what they did was justified, but if instead they were standing there talking shit to him, saying like they're gonna fuck him up and shit like that, and then he slaps him, I don't know. I like, to me that's that's self-defense. Like he's already being threatened and crap. So
would you jump them if all of us, I want another raise of hands. If all of us are walking, right, and somebody wants to fight, and shout out to a Grill Police for blessing 7,000 memberships on the Flow State side. Thank you very much. We appreciate you, sir, with the end up. Thank you very much. If we are all, going to say my opinion, then you guys got it. If we are all on the street and somebody punches Glenn, there's not a fair fight. I'm going to jump you. I'm sorry. Because we are together respectfully. I'm not going to let you walk around and slap somebody that is on my group, and all of a sudden you are expecting a fair fight. You are going to be jumped. I agree. But once they're on the ground, the only place where you're going to get the fair fight is inside of jiu-jitsu practice, when we get a little bit angry. So now it's a one-on-one. But if we're walking outside, or if we have a basketball team and you for whatever reason decide to start a fight with somebody on my team, we are going to jump you, we are going to stomp you out, and then the cops can do whatever they want to do afterwards, because it is what it is.
I agree, but once you're on the ground, to keep like stomping on your face, or when he's getting up and he's on his hands and knees,
an assassination
kick
attempt.
him in his face.
Yes,
yes, these are just way over the top. Like to say like you already won the fight, the guy's already on the fucking ground, move on. That's one thing. But even on the top of that, like the woman who's trying to break things up, the other woman comes and knocks her out. There's a guy screaming that one of the men is 63 years old that they're beating the shit out of. There were 4 total skirmishes like off to the side where they were grabbing his other Russian friends and beating the shit out of them. We only see really like one part of this fight happening, whereas there's 3 others happening in the peripheries. And so yeah, it was just well above and beyond. The proportionality there was not there, and it sounds like they started it. So
and this goes back to the whole idea of not wanting people around you. They didn't want those white people there at that festival, and it manifested once. Me saying that there's post-traumatic slave syndrome. Whoa. Dr. Joy Degree is an advocate for Black people. That's not white.
Can y'all prove that? No, can y'all prove that they didn't want people out? Now people say
the way they beat them.
No. I will say this. So no, but that's the thing. Respectfully, y'all have to actually prove what y'all saying, because. One thing is we're looking at the video and kind of see how it started. Another thing is you actually having evidence that they started it. Because if there's no evidence, like for example,
well, again, I said that there was a witness who said that the black guys were saying, "Let's go."
And there's a bunch of witnesses that are saying that it was the Russians that started it. The Russians was kicking cars, and they were saying like the Russians saying the N-word. Like I'm not going for the hearsay. I'm going to look at the video and see who kind of started, because. At some point,
I thought the N-word was said after the fight started, though.
Yeah, but I heard that it was before, but I have no evidence. Once again, people are going to try to justify what happened. But what I saw was they kind of went at each other a little bit. Everybody stopped. It could be an opportunity for everybody to put their wallets in the bag and the pocket and leave and move. And then the Russian slaps the guy, and then they go crazy. Now they stump him out and all that. My thing is this, actually. I'm going to be very honest. The fact that the other Russians that were around didn't defend him, to me, is crazy. Because if he was wrong, if he was right, I think they would intervene. Right?
Well, they did again. There were other fights happening all around. Like there were other fights going on. So it sounds like they were all immediately
But
fighting.
you see, you know, a reaction when you are actually being victimized, and a reaction of, hey, man, you gotta get it is what it is. Like it didn't sound like, what do you have there, Marte?
Well, I'm not saying that the Russian guy was innocent, but them beating him like that was criminal.
It was criminal.
I'm not talking about the law.
So you know when we're having a conversation about the N-word, and I was saying to Jake, you have all the right to say it, but you're not free of consequences. I think this is the same conversation. I can stomp you out, and then I go to jail. I'm not saying that these people shouldn't go to jail. I don't think what they did was actually proportional, like Tom said. But respectfully, what are y'all expecting? Especially on a country that people say black people are violent, black people do this, black people do that, and then you slap a black person in the face with 30 other individuals around. It became racially motivated when they slap him.
I'm surprised.
You can hear get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. The black people say that this is. Remember the boat thing? I think it was white people fighting like a black dude like he was fighting, and then people started jumping from the boat and started.
What do you
fighting.
mean it became racially motivated just because he slapped him? What is that? What? How do you?
I don't think
already an animosity.
I don't think y'all understand how black people a lot of times move, and it's not just black people. It's tribal, it's mis.
You're saying it's going to seem that way. It's going to seem that way, but it's not like a hate crime. Like legally, it's going to be racial.
No, of course. But if I'm the Lakers, and somebody slaps Derek Fisher, I'm going to slap you back, right? The Melas in the Palace with the Pacers, where one of the guys got slapped or punched or they threw. No, Ron Artest, they threw a drink at him, and all of a sudden you see all the players in the crowd fighting each other and all that. I think is what Triple is miss is. You are going to get the raw end of the stick if you poke one bee, because bees don't fight by themselves. They go call the whole clan, and now you dealing with a bunch of bees. So,
okay, yeah. Well,
I'll pass the microphone to y'all because I'm still trying to understand what of these happen that show black people nature, or not just that. What is surprising about you seeing a black person getting slapped and then other black people trying to join the fun and actually doing a little bit too much? Go ahead, Glenn, and then I want the rest of the crowd, especially Mr. Marte, to join.
I want to point out, I believe, what's your name, ma'am? Napah. Thank you. You started saying, when you started talking about it, you were giving them excuses. Well, these guys didn't know the culture or the sub community that they were going into, or what, the people, and it's as if like not necessarily excuses to excuse their behavior, but almost to victim blame the people that were there, as if like, well, they kind of brought it upon themselves. And then you said, well, they weren't even wanted there; they wanted to be separated. No, I know, but it's the sentiment that it comes off. But then you also said that, well, the black people just want to be separated from the white people. They didn't want those people there. And you couldn't even back that up as if like, well, how do you know that? Well, because the way that they beat them up. Well, that's after the fact. There's no foreknowledge of that happening or, knowing that. And I think when we come at these things overall, we just got to call, what's wrong. Anybody that jumps anybody to a point where the individual is unable to properly defend themselves, that is that's wrong, and that should be held accountable. And there's no excuse for that. There's no justification for that, right? Now, and if it was the other way around, I would say the same thing. Right? The amount of violence that was inflicted was unnecessary due to the actual confrontation that was displayed.
But that's the thing, though. When you put your hands on people,
this is when that super chat came in and said I'm being gaslighted or gaslit. I exactly said that. I never said any of that stuff that you said.
It said
they beat him up, and it was not fair.
He said one thing, Napah. It was
weird.
This thing was, you said that
I didn't
excuse. You did say they may not want those people in their community.
Yes.
So it sounded like a justification.
Okay, listen.
That sounded like speculation. You see what I'm saying?
Talking too much. I need to because it's weird. This whole show, it's like been like
no, Napah. One second. You said you don't understand what he said, and me and Tom are telling you exactly. What is the point?
I understood completely what he said.
So if you understood, why are you saying that you didn't know what we're like? You said,
well, you said that you were being gaslit.
He said it sounded like I was excusing the black people savagely beating a guy for barely slapping another guy in the face. I never said anything like that. I understood what he said to me. So
what you said was,
but you said that you were being gaslit, and so we're saying that if you were being gaslit, that we're saying it makes sense that he came away with this conclusion. So I'm just asking you to explain, why did you say that you like they didn't want maybe they didn't want the white people in the community?
Yes.
Okay. I guess we're doing this for this panel, but I actually live in society, and I'm black. Black people at a black event that's historically black see 2 or 3 or 4 white people and they're mad, they're like, and that goes the vice versa. If a bunch of white people see a few black people somewhere, they're gonna be like, why are they here? Oh, what do they think they're doing?
Are you feeling okay?
Acting like
Not at all.
Crazy.
Let her finish. Let her finish. Let her.
Land your parachute already, damn it!
Let her. Napah is not for you. Napah, you being reactive. Napah, you being.
I can't.
Napah, you being reactive. I'm telling you to let you.
Get over
ladies.
Why when I'm
can you stop talking?
Why?
Because they were over talking you. Every time I stop them to give
your voice.
Because you don't understand. Can you trust me? Can you trust me, please?
Your voice?
Are you gaslighting me now?
No, you're raising your voice.
Yeah, you definitely gaslighting me because I'm stopping them to allow you to speak, and you get mad at me.
Okay. Anyway, they shouldn't. Let me explain something.
You need to be right.
Black people. Yeah, I know he's still hurt because I told him the truth.
No, I'm not.
Violent.
You see, no. Stop.
Oh my God.
Stop. Now you gaslighting me. If
She's on Thomas.
Now, if every time that I do something to help you, you feel offended for whatever. So
I'm
me
not
telling
offended.
them,
I just can't get a whole.
Why you keep talking? Why you keep talking? If I'm talking,
because I don't need you to lecture me on that.
So if you're talking and I'm talking, can we hear each other?
No, it's good. You know what? Black people are always right. They can beat up everybody.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Black guys don't wear a lot of chains, and they're not.
Is that you see? And this is what I'm talking about.
Black people aren't violent. When they
now you're being sarcastic. What?
Now you're being passive aggressive because you actually was addressing it.
It's the same playbook. It's the same playbook.
You go ahead and talk about these chains, and then said I wasn't talking about him. I was just talking about the random man in general.
I'd like to get my statement out. I'd like to respond.
Yes, you can get your statement up, but every time I moderate my show, I would ask you please to let me give you the floor. It was for you.
Okay, give me the floor. I'll wait.
Thank you very much. The clock is ticking. You have 2 minutes. Go ahead.
You know, this is funny over here because I love it. I love being on the panel.
No, but we don't have to talk about that. We don't have to talk about it. We don't have to talk about it. Address what you
about the guy. See what I mean? You're talking over me.
You don't have to talk about the conversation. Talk about the topic.
Responding to this man.
Stop the black violence.
I love being here. But
I'm gonna wait till you let me respond to Glenn.
Okay, so wait. Let's wait together.
I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, let's wait together, all of us.
Do you want me to respond to him?
I want you to address what he said because you said he was gaslighting. Let's keep it on the topic and let's move along, please. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. The reaction that you saw with those people beating that man was overboard. Black people have a lot of animosity toward white people because of a lot of things that happened to them historically. I know you don't want to hear that. They were excessively violent, and I'm a black woman, and I'm telling the truth. Black people, they can be excessively violent. Let's be real. They're always talking about beating each other up. I know everybody does it, but especially my people are always trying to fight, pull up, drop your location. Oh, I'm gonna kill him. That's just the culture. And if you don't like it, too bad. I'm sorry. And black males especially are triggered by it because they are violent as well. White men are violent, men are violent, but black culture is about beating somebody's butt, shooting somebody, and kicking their ass. And if the white man comes in, we're gonna show him what he did wrong. Am I excusing the Russian guy? No. Alcohol was a factor. I get it. But beating that lady and that man like that was excessive. And it's easy to say, you know, hey, Napah, she's making excuses or she's against her people. Y'all can sit up here and act like that it's not black people being violent. It is. I had to clarify that because I'm not going to sit up here and say that I'm excusing black people beating up a couple of white people. And so, you know, at this point, it got weird that everybody's like going on and on that I'm excusing it. I don't know what else to say. I mean, this is just
well, even in that, when you start talking about like the way that they even when you start talking about like after we're saying like it sounds like you're excusing it when you start bringing up like, oh well, they they have animosity towards white people based on oppression, and so like even then it just starts to sound like there's some sort of excuse. I understand that you're saying like this is just context added, but I'm just saying that like that's just what it sounded like to everybody when we're all talking about like who's right or who's wrong in this scenario. We're going to bring up like points that kind of back up that point, and it sounds like you're bringing up points to back up the fact that they maybe have some like historical animosity in this scenario, so it makes sense why they would want to go beat these people up.
Let me actually Napah, if let's accept the premise, right? Would black people, especially in the United States, would it be fair that they have animosity about white people for the things that happened in the past?
Let me say this. I want to get clear and gather myself because it got so bizarre how you kept yelling. So let me say this clear.
I will repeat it. I will repeat it once again, Napah. This is the last time I'm going to do that shit with you. I'll repeat it once again.
You want to repeat
Stop
what?
doing that shit.
Listen,
no. You
I don't know who you're used to.
No, it's my show. Respectfully, you keep throwing these little jabs. I'm asking you something about the show.
And literally. I'm telling you something about the show.
So if I'm asking you, is it that's fair that black people have animosity towards white people for the things that happened on the past? What does me yelling at you has to do with the question?
I don't know. When you came over to my channel, I don't need you going on and on about this. Listen,
you can abuse me over there. I'll be there tomorrow. You can abuse me over there. I'll be there tomorrow. One thing that you're not going to do is tell me how to run my show. Tomorrow,
I'm not telling you how to run your show.
Tomorrow, I will be on your show. Is that fair? And you can do whatever you want to me. I will go there. I don't have a problem. Thank you. But on my show, please follow my rules. And tomorrow, when I'm on our show, I follow your rules. Talk about the topic. Talk about the topic. Don't talk about me, please. Go ahead. Talk about the topic. Don't talk about me, please. Thank you.
Do black people deserve to beat people to death? No. I would like to get this.
That's not what I asked.
What did you ask me?
You said that black people have animosity towards white people, and this is why they do certain things to white people. Okay? What I'm asking is that, looking at American history, is it fair for black Americans to actually feel animosity towards white people, like the Palestinians feel for the Israelis, like the Japanese feel for the Chinese? Like, would it be fair or not? You can say, no, I don't think it's fair. Or you can say, yes, I think it's very fair.
I'd like to elaborate. It's very fair.
Yeah, you can elaborate. Go ahead.
It's fair for them to have animosity, but to say, oh, we can just beat people to death. Let me give you the scenario, please. It wasn't a KKK rally. Like if a black guy was in a KKK rally or a Nazi meeting, a neo-Nazi meeting, and then they would beat him. It was a jazz festival, a mainstream open to public jazz festival. So yes, black people have animosity towards whites and toward black people more than whites. Black people kill black people all the time, more than whites. Black men, they shoot each other for no reason. Black women, they're always trying to beat each other up. And I'm not talking about, this isn't something I feel like I'm rushing to articulate myself.
I'm kind of just curious, what did the KKK rally would have to do with that?
That's what I mean. That man went to a jazz festival thinking, I'm in mainstream public. Black people took the opportunity to beat up a white guy excessively and a white lady because the people probably agitated them, but because the violence that is in the culture there in that area or wherever they were as black people. I'm not talking about black people in Beverly Hills. I'm talking about typical black people in America think we got to beat them up. We got to kick their ass. We got to kill. And that's what happened because they excessively beat him more because he was white. They would have done it to a black guy. But if you were, let me flip it. If I'm black and I go to a white event, if it was a black guy at a white event and the black guy slapped a white guy in the face, the whole crowd, practically the whole crowd wouldn't beat the guy to death almost. So,
But I'm sure that there's white people going to events in Cincinnati. Cincinnati is obviously majority black, and I think there's probably white people at some of these events. And I don't think that this is happening so often to where we can think, well, this is just part of the culture that they see a white person and they'll just start beating the shit out of them.
Hello.
I mean, doesn't that sound very racist? Like the way that it's like the way that it describes.
Yeah, I told you, she's a white supremacist.
It sounds just like it. Like black people hate it. We got to be it with the boys down to. It was the heat of the moment. He smacked him. The dude reacted. Now, granted, me personally, kind of would have looked at the old guy like he ain't really. He a little older, so I would have, probably didn't want to tap that far. And the woman, that was totally uncalled for. Yeah, I think she was just trying to break it up. Anyway, she's like an older woman. These are young guys, so I don't even know why they even put that. That was a sucker move, if you ask me.
So what happened was, the black woman, the white woman was trying to separate the fight, and she was kind of pushing the black man. And the black woman saw it from afar and thought she was trying to fight him. So she comes from the back and she gives him something, but like she just looked back, and then the black guy in front of her just it was crazy. Like that dude.
Wait, I thought the black woman. I thought it was like the butch black woman with the hat on and the dreads punched her. No,
the black woman thought that she was attacking the black guy with the red shirt, and the white man, the black man with the white shirt in front of her is the one that gives her like a Mortal Kombat uppercut. Right. And
right. So just I'm just laying it real quick. So to go to say that all that took place just because deep down from the studies from the micro lab rats that connected to black people's brain to say we're going to take it out on every white person we see because of what happened 5,000 years ago. Or let's look for a reason to take it out. Let's go, y'all. No, it was just the heat of the moment. It was a fight. Went too far. If it was replaced the Russian guy for a black guy, still would have been the same melee. Probably even worse. The lady getting punched was totally uncalled for. So to think that we're putting too much into it, it was that situation and it spiraled. But these are some of the things where you got to be careful when you put your hands on people, because I might look at it like, well, hold on. All right, he smacked me, but I ain't going to go too far with him. He look a little older. Other people are not looking like that. So you got to be prepared for whatever comes when you put your hands on people. But I personally wouldn't have took it that far.
Okay.
Anyone disagrees with what Napah said? Glenn wanted to talk, but I wanted to make sure that people have the chance to rebuttal. Go ahead, Glenn. You got it.
Okay. I want to look at the actions, right? These people thought it was okay to go as far as they did. There was no force or threat present that warranted that level of aggression. And I think that's being missed here. And why would somebody feel the need that they have the right or the ability to do so? People do that when they think they're not going to face any consequence for said behavior. And the H guy that's like stomped on that dude's face could have killed him. And they didn't care whether or not that they were going to kill this individual, regardless of the skin color. They had no concern or worry of consequence. And you could say whether that's due to community or lack of policing, or maybe they thought they didn't care what would happen because the individual's appearance is different than theirs. I don't know. But whatever the reason is that they didn't value or have any concern of consequence of their actions. And that's the deeper problem in this entire situation, regardless of color.
Anyone wants to intervene? Because I have a couple of questions.
Well,
I mean, I don't know that they had no concern for consequence, but I do think that like this is the Cincinnati does have they have like higher rates of homicides and things like that.
How are they gun laws?
Big city.
Are they more of a red state or a blue state? Like how are their gun laws?
I think
maybe
they're blue, but I think the state is red, I believe.
What do you think it would happen if this was in Texas, Tom?
What part of Texas?
I was about to say it depends if we're talking about like Austin.
No, we're not talking about Houston. We're talking about rural Texas. This is like what would happen on a place where everybody has guns. For
I think
example.
these sorts of things happen in probably all inner city, like rural places.
Inner city,
like
black,
where
black, predominantly
yes,
black.
yes. If you're talking about a predominantly black place where people feel like they are the majority, they're more capable of getting away with something, or a lot of the people around are going to be on their side, they're like, it's going to feel a lot more comfortable. Obviously, there's like a group of like 5 white Russian dudes and then hundreds of black people around them. They're going to feel like a lot more comfortable doing something like this in a scenario like that. Whereas if it was 4 black people and hundreds of white people, probably would not have happened at all. So yeah.
I think you're talking about blacks that just don't care. I mean, if you look at modern day, we have everybody with video cameras in their phone. A lot of people don't care. I've noticed like a lot of TikToks and a lot of other videos where black people are actually filming themselves doing a crime. We had the Stop Snitching movement a long time ago. And now all of a sudden it's like, I think that culture is ingrained in today where it's like, I know my brother's not going to tell on me or snitch on me or anything. But case in point, we have a walking contradiction. We have people filming the same events that are happening. While, I mean, how else do these people get arrested, right? By filming them ourselves. And I see that black people in the black community we film ourselves all the time committing crimes. So I think that this is like part and parcel of like the whole social media growing as a result of this. So I don't think that they were like saying that they're going to be absolved of anything bad happening. I think it's inevitably going to happen because we have snitching systems always, and it's like we're constantly finding attention, get more people to our YouTube channel, to something else. Oh, I'm just going to film it. But it's like we don't know that we're undermining the people that we say we're not going to snitch on. So it's like a lot of contradictions in this community.
Yeah, but what is the difference between that and white college wins the high school or college championship and white people just go ahead and burn everything and go on polls and
been on campus for that. I've been on college campus for that.
This is why I clearly denounce the black people do it. Nah, respectfully. If you're actually going to see the atrocities that black people did to white people and the atrocities that white people did to black people, I don't think you'll come with the conclusion that black people are more violent. If you go look at what the Japanese did
I never stated that.
I don't think that they are.
Let me finish, please. I'm addressing a regular point. If you're going to look at what the Japanese did to the Chinese, what the Mongols did to when the Muslims came to Europe, when the Europeans went outside to colonize and to kill, come on, man. The history of violence is not a monopoly. Everybody at a certain point, we literally are seeing on the Middle East, like some people killing other people, and we're lucky that we're right now not in a world war. So the reality,
what community adopts this?
Let me just finish my point. Right? It's just like talking about stealing. Oh, black people per capita do more stealing. And then you're going to see who is fucking up Wall Street and who is getting into a recession. And it's a bunch of white men with ties and suits stealing a tremendous amount of money compared with a man stealing a wallet. Is black people are violent, but the people that are literally profiting and pushing wars are all people that don't look like me. So I don't like when we keep pretending that the monopoly on violence is black people going to do this shit to white people, because you know what happens, and this YouTube is so real as fuck. I thought we were
this is the starving children in Africa argument, though. This is like if I want to worry about a homeless person. So there's starving children in Africa, dude.
So no, but Tom, the thing is this, right? I thought we come from Fight Club, the motherfucking wildest place. I really thought we were like that about that life. And then I start to go to Flow State channel, and then I start to go to like Speak Keezy and to Sarah, and I'm like, God damn, all of us like fighting, all of us calling each other names, all of us be rowdy, all of us saying, if I see you in my face, I'll fuck you up. So it's not the monopoly on violence because everybody's acting the same. Like I said, I will repeat this once again. Per capita,
that's not analogous.
It's actually analogous because you can see. You can see this behavior in all the communities, in all parts of YouTube. I will actually going to be more precise. Lefties put the blame of violence usually on the right. They are the intolerant. Look at Twitter. Look at the wars they start. Look at the way they treat people. They don't respect nobody. And then you go to TikTok, which is a cesspool of lefties, and they are the worst people in the planet. They are intolerant. They step on people. They discriminate you with the base on what you believe in, all that shit. Like, they are the worst too. So if you are going to put the owners of something on one side and calling them fascists, and then you're doing cancel culture on the other side, I can accept the fact that you're calling a fascist to somebody on the right when you are literally canceling people on the left. It's the same
These
thing
are
with
just
the
not analogous. They're just
Fatty, you
not
just moved this
analogous.
I want to
They're
say that I'm the
not.
only one who's
bro.
had somebody shoot around on
How
live
is that
stream
not-
because he's mad at me.
So
They're
Tom,
just
how
not
is
I
that,
remember that,
because
Flo.
in one place
how
we're
is that
talking
not
about
analogous, Tom?
in one place when we're talking about cancel culture, this is not violence. We're not talking about violence. When we're talking about people cussing each other out and calling each other names, that's not violence. When we're talking about the state using police forces and with guns on their fucking holsters to come and take you, and that you are under threat of being shot or taken to jail, by that is a threat of violence. That is a monopoly on the use of force. That is very different from people canceling each other or calling each other names.
No, but we're talking about the attributes that people put in one side other than the other, right? We keep talking about this thing all the time. If you are going to say that black people do this disproportionately, I want to know one thing, and please, especially from Napah and from R.I.S.E, let's go back to the basics. Is this because they are black, or is this because they are poor? Is this because they are savages by nature? And like Flow State says, now we're going to turn this into a white supremacy show because that's kind of white supremacists believe, that black people are innately violent.
That's
Or
not
this
what I'm
is,
saying.
I know that is not what I'm saying, but I'm asking, right? Like, because these people actually having in them, or is because these people just are poor? Or are
Well, I mean, we can look at
disenfranchised?
people like Luigi going and shooting a CEO, and a lot of people look at this as like a representation of the desperations between classes. That like Luigi grew up a very rich kid and still went off and shot somebody. Like we'd always have to have like a clear. It's not always like this class conscious conflict that we have to look at things through. Sometimes like it is part of it. It's definitely something that's going to be an aspect of it. But everybody who's poor is now running around beating up people in the streets, and even all black people who grow up in the hood aren't running around beating up white people in the streets. It's not a super common thing. So it's black people are more likely to beat up black people than they are to beat up white people.
It's proximity. Yes, it's proximity. That's why when Napah was saying black people are killing each other and all that, so white people are killing white people more, because it's proximity. They just stand around each other more times, so they're going to kill each other more. And you go to any country, any community in the planet, that's usually what it is. The person that is your biggest threat is somebody that looks like you. And that's not just the white, the black community. It's like every community. So
sure, but the black community does this more. Like the like murder rates are much higher in the black community than they are in white communities.
Yeah, they are.
It's
propaganda
while
if you
that's
want to
true,
fight.
it is still like higher in the black.
Yes, absolutely.
The black community, what are we making up 13-14% of the whole population? But so it's disproportionate to the amount of homicide that's committed. And epigenetic isn't innate. I mean, it's
not.
I'm so exhausted.
It's
I'm
not.
sorry.
It's
It's
not
not you
innate.
guys. It's me. I'm doing work and I'm talking. So
Are you breaking up with us?
epigenetic? No, I'm a tough cookie. I told
All right.
Fatty. But I want to say this: epigenetic is from environmental situations, like experiences. So it's not like I mean, I'm black. I'm not saying that I'm innately or my people are innately violent and murderous. I will leave.
You kind of said that, Napah.
No, I said epigenetic. I said
but that's the thing. If I inherit something from my dad because he was victim of colonialism, and OG inherits something from his granddad because he was victim of slavery, and you have a bunch of people that are brown, because most of people that are brown on this planet are either victims of colonialism or slavery, either one or the other. African people, people from Brazil, people from the islands. If you are saying that this trauma is passed from grandparent to son and to dad and to dad to son and all that, it kind of is. Like, is what I'm saying? It kind of
one is like inherent and objectively true. The other one, what she's talking about, is saying it just makes it more likely.
It's not something I made up. It's an actual factual study. It's not something that it's not my feelings and opinions. This has been determined. It's scientific. It's not. It's not something. And what's I guess frustrating to me is that it's like as if it's made like it's something fly by night and just some fringe thing. It's actually mainstream science about epigenetic. It's not just about slavery. So people who haven't really, I shouldn't be so frustrated because everyone isn't doing research on this. Everyone isn't looking into this. But I mentioned the doctor. I mentioned the name. I mentioned the science that not just she's doing it. And it's a fact that experiences can be passed down through your genetics. It doesn't mean that.
But the problem is that it's going to be a small portion of it. So like even the fact that Black people have higher testosterone rates means that they're more likely to have a lack of control and more likely to act sporadically. The fact that they have up and down levels of cortisol rates, like that also makes it to where they're more likely to commit crimes, and like there's all of these other biological factors, but that makes up for like a 1 to 2% difference. And we can see this when we look at like white rich people versus Black rich people. Black rich people still commit a little bit more crime than the white people, but it's like a 1 to 2% difference. Once we look at like the actual social factors that exist for people, poor white people still commit higher crime rates than rich Black people. So it's not just this epigenetic thing. The cultural differences, the social factors are going to be a much bigger part of this than any like biological aspect. So I think like mentioning the epigenetic things, I'm saying the epigenetic part, you're totally correct on. It's just that it is like a 1 to 2% difference, whereas all of the other factors are like 20-30% differences.
Yes, okay, but what you just said, it's not, it aligns with what I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with you, but it's not, I don't know about that percentage, about 1 to 2%, but how, you know, how significant it is. I said social constructs as well. I said environment, but the vicious cycle is it encodes from the environment. And then when you talked about rich Black people, that is how do you say, undo it. When you undo it, it doesn't have to just be wealthy. You can be, let's say, a Black community of middle class Black people. They do what we saw the white people doing in the Ozarks. If their crime is low and then they continue to have generations in that community, they will then be, in a sense, undoing that trauma, that epigenetic trauma that's been encoded.
But
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interject here, but I think it's a mindset problem. The problem is mindset.
I think it's a bunch of bullshit. That's what I think it is.
Yeah, I think it's propaganda.
I'm gonna get to that too. I'm gonna get to that bullshit too.
Hello, OG. How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing, fam? How you Pamela doing? You know what? One of the things I hate is a bunch of bullshit that I've been listening to all my goddamn life. That Black people try to make excuses for bullshit, and then they become gatekeepers of bullshit. Now, you can talk about all this pseudoscience that you want to talk about. If that's the case, then white people themselves will suffer from the same thing because they start killing themselves first. That's number one. Way before they got to us, they were slaughtering each other. So they would have that in their DNA too. Now, you start bringing it down to this bullshit that you want to talk about. First thing I want to say to you is, them people was able to walk away alive. There was a man on the train, and the doctor, he left because I came up here. There was a man on the train that was just jumping around, having a mental breakdown, and a soldier killed him. He didn't walk away. So when y'all start talking about proportions and all that, let's go with this one. These rich white people you talking about, let's go with this one. Saddam Hussein called our president a wimp, and he went over there and killed over 1 million people. Now you want to talk about disproportion? Let's look at disproportion, what's going on right here in our face. See, we don't have to go back to slavery. Our young people are seeing exactly what's happening today. Most of them don't even know the damn thing about slavery other than the word slavery. They don't know what happened. You know what they see? They see 60,000 people getting killed. Babies, children, don't give a fuck about them. Nobody give a fuck about them. And then you know what? Our president sent money over there to do it, make it happen. So when you start talking about all this pseudoscience, that shit sounds good. But in the end of the day, it don't represent shit. Because you know what? White people have shown that they are some of the most violent people on this planet. Historically. Now let's start from there and come to today. So what black people learned over here, what we did learn, and what we're learning today is when they call out their wolf gangs. When police has come out and don't you believe when black people do film themselves doing all crazy shit that they doing, I don't goddamn protect that shit. But you know what? Their asses end up in courtroom and they end up in jail. So that's what you don't want to talk about in that perspective. So stop all this bullshit like somebody know more about our brains than we do. Like they used to say, our brains was not capable of being quarterbacks. Our brains were not capable of swimming. Our brains were not capable of running institution. So you bringing that same bullshit today in 2025.
Yeah, we used to have Irish gangs. We used to have Italian gangs. We used to have a bunch of different.
I start out with that. Why you repeating what I said? I started off with that. Y'all start killing each other.
OG, 1 second.
OG, would you agree that it's a mindset issue?
I think he's agreeing with you, OG.
But it make no difference. I don't need nobody to repeat my shit.
Well, then shut the fuck up. You can sit and listen for a minute.
What I'm trying to say, Fatty, I don't need nobody. Wait. See, one thing, you don't have to validate the truth.
Policing people.
I'm always
OG, 1 second, OG.
I'm always sensitive about this subject, bro.
OG, 1 second, OG.
Yeah, you are.
There was a panel before you got here, and it's going to be a panel after you.
I got you, but I'm just
saying.
So
1 second, OG. So when somebody is actually agreeing with you, let him agree with you and move along.
But see, this is why we have fell short, Fatty. This is why we fell short. We always trying to prove something and want somebody else to acknowledge what we know already. And this is what I'm saying is when I'm having these kind of conversations, I really don't need my adversary or my enemy on the outside or anybody.
That is your enemy.
But that just means that you just came after me and agreed with me as well. Why? Okay. If that was the case, the whole time you would have been talking, I would have been yelling over you, going, "I don't need you to prove my point. I don't need you to prove my point. I already said all this. I don't need you to prove my point." I didn't do that to you.
Bro, slow down. I apologize if I talked. Wait a minute. I'm big enough to say I apologize if I talked over you. But the truth of the matter, I'd be lying to myself if I say
you were doing great, OG, and now you.
Okay, listen, Federer. If you listen, I apologize to the man.
Why are you so emotional, OG?
Why are you apologizing for the wrong thing?
You know why I'm so emotional? Because I had to listen to this shit
for
66 years.
Yes,
I'm not a crybaby. I'm a warrior.
And if you're over
talking me, you're a booty warrior.
If you over talking me, disrespect me now. Okay, I'm here, OG.
There was two people talking.
1 second, please. 1 second. We have to listen. Glenn is going to be next. OG. Napah said that black people are X, Y, and Z. Tomfoolery said, nah, I kind of don't believe in that. Always the woman that looks closer to you, not your enemy, but tomfoolery that actually was agreeing with you, your enemy. This was your words. You said, this person is I don't need my enemy to acknowledge what I said. Always tomfoolery, your enemy. When he was agreeing with you.
He already apologized.
He apologized. No, he apologized for interrupting. OG, I agree with him. I agree with what he said. I agree with what OG said. It's not about the conversation. I'm just asking because he made a remark, right? Always tomfoolery that agrees with you, your enemy, but in the part they said something completely different, but looks more like us, not.
Well, if you had to listen to what I was saying, you would have known that not only he was my enemy, I was talking to the young lady too. Matter of fact, I got on her more than I got on him. What I'm saying, no. Listen, Fatty. This is the problem that y'all don't see. This is the problem that y'all don't see. All right? It's not that. See, what I need. This is what I need, Fatty. I need for white people go talk to white people and tell them what they're doing wrong. I need the black people to understand.
They do it all the time.
Wait. Listen.
Tom has a show for 8 hours where he talks shit about Trump and the Democrats and the Republicans.
If you listen to what I'm saying, historically, that has always stopped our movement. It's when we involve people on the outside to come in our movement and our thought pattern and then come in, and it is almost like what Dr. Khalid said.
But you don't know
But that's
him.
the majority of panels.
I don't have to
like
know
this
him.
panel. That is the majority of panels, though. This panel is that we all come together and have the conversation.
Tom,
On this one, all of the other panels are exactly that.
Tom, he doesn't need you repeating him.
You don't know him. He doesn't talk about black issues for the most part. He stays every night talking about we want to see the Epstein files and Trump is doing this. Like he talks about what white people are doing wrong all the time. So the fact that you come in and you give a great speech, like, I agree with you. And then you can't stop there and you say, I don't have to listen from my enemy. How is it your enemy? It's not your enemy at all.
Okay, if do you want me to explain? Because you gonna walk away feeling the same way you feel. You don't know why I feel the way I feel.
Why do you feel the way you feel?
I feel the way I feel, Fatty, because I have seen this shit done over and over and over and over. If you go back historically, no, listen. What I'm saying is, if you look at most of our movements, from the Chicago 5 to most of all our movements in this country, it's only when think about it. Let me make it on a smaller side so you understand what I'm saying.
You have 1 minute and 15 seconds.
Okay. So I got the family here. Family's having a problem. So family now brings an outsider, even though he might agree with the person who's saying something right. You don't involve him to family matters. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's fair. So OG, how does the name of the show? What's the name of the show?
I don't know. I was listening.
It's called Breaking Ground. Do you see the thumbnail? Black people on one side, white people on the other side. On the other shows, we talk about white issues. It was not black issues. Actually, it was white issues. This is like the 6th show that we do. Some days the black people are in front of the congregation. Some days the white people are in front of the congregation. If this is literally the purpose of the show, and there's 500 now 670 people watching in both sides, and we went through the whole night talking about what white people do to black people, what black people do to what, like, this is the reason why we're here. So let's have the conversation. And if you can have the conversation with people that you deem your enemies, we can go ahead tomorrow, ladies first, and we have a panel with all eight black people, and we talk about black single mothers and black deadbeats. Can we do that? It's fine.
But my thing is, Fatty, that's your understanding of it, and I don't have a problem with it because it is your show. But you can't change my mindset, bro.
So you want me to cancel the show?
No, I want you. No. I'm just saying. I said what I said, and I'm standing in that square. That's all I'm saying.
I don't want you to change your opinion. What I'm saying is that this show is this for a reason. If you think it's negative,
I get it.
Or you think you don't want to sit with people that don't look like you, might agree or disagree with you because you don't want to invite somebody from the outside to talk about black issues. I respect you. I love you, and I say, OG, let's talk tomorrow. It's fine.
Well, Fatty, what you're saying, what you're really saying is you having a problem with what I'm saying, really.
No, I don't.
No. Let me finish.
You was with the enemy thing.
No. Can I finish what I need?
He's saying it's the purpose of the show. The purpose of the show.
I understand the purpose. Wait. I only made one statement. Well, you can say 2. I said I didn't need nobody repeating what I said. Fatty, you have been doing this show for almost going on 4 years now. And you have said, okay, well, not this show, but I'm just saying your show. You have always said when people start repeating themselves, I had already made my case clear. I don't need I don't need no choir. That's what I'm saying. I'm the lead singer here right about now. No. I know I already said that, brother, but I'm trying to make them understand what I'm trying to make them understand. I'm not trying to disrespect him as a person. I'm just saying that we have the freedom to express ourselves. Why should we come up here and play with each other and act like we don't have issue with certain things? I'm not saying I can't be part of the show, but I'm just saying is why can't we express?
Because this is a panel. Because if you think that talking with people that you deem your enemy is a no-no because you don't want to talk in-house with people that are out of the house, you stay out of the house until we open ladies night, until we open all black night. We have so many shows that we talk just about black things. The fact that you disregarded the title of the show, you disregarded the motto of the show, you disregarded why people are here together for the first part is, once again, this is not about you. So you had the most probably brilliant state of the night, but you literally denied the existence of the show. Like I said, OG, I respect you. I respect you to a way. You know, I respect you so much. But this is not about
But
you.
now you're making a show about me. Because
You
I
make
made
it
one
about
statement.
yourself.
No.
kidding me?
Listen what I just said. Listen what
Are
I said.
you
You spent the
kidding me?
last 15
OG?
minutes. You
Hey,
spent the
hey,
last
hey,
10 minutes.
no, 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 no,
You
no,
spent
no.
the last
Hey,
10 minutes making a show about me.
No. OG, you are not.
And this is
invited.
exactly what I was
OG,
talking about.
OG. You are
Now
not.
me and you are arguing, and he's sitting down there with his hand on his face.
OG, you are not. You were not invited.
You don't even understand where I'm coming from.
OG, you were not invited for the show. I saw you ask for the link in the chat, and because I love you and I appreciate you, I gave you the link so you can have space to say exactly what you said. And you are saying
Okay.
that I'm
And
making
I
it about
exit.
you. You came into. OG, you know what?
I made it about history. I made it about history.
No. Let's
I
make
made it about history, not about me.
OG, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Let's make big problems, small problems, and small problems, no problems. Let's move along. It's totally fine. I actually should have done that shit 5 minutes ago. Okay, it's totally fine. And once again, I'm not saying that your statement is not true. It was just the enemy line. I wanted to understand why are you saying enemy when, in my view, the person agrees with you. Okay,
because he's racist.
It might be.
We're waiting on Glenn to go.
You know what?
Yes.
I might be Dusty, but you know what?
You are.
You know what, Dusty?
What?
I learned it from you.
Me?
Yes, sir.
I'm younger than you.
I still learned it from you
Dad.
and your kind. I learned it from you and your
am I your
kind.
dad?
You
Get him back. You better go down there and get him back.
Am I your dad? Call me
I
daddy.
learned it from you and
Call
your
me
kind.
daddy.
I learned you from
I'm
your kind.
daddy.
And I hear you when you on other shows.
I taught you bad.
You speak with a false tongue.
You learn
I hear
wrong.
you when you on other shows. I hear you, Dusty.
Okay.
I hear you. Don't
You
sit
learned
up
it from
here
me?
acting like you. Don't sit up here like you Malcolm X today.
The
Don't sit up
remix.
here like you Malcolm X today, bro. I hear you on other shows.
Yeah. What do you hear me say?
Don't worry about it. I've seen you before. I've seen you before. What I said, he said I was racist. And I said I might be, and I learned it from here. I didn't bring shit up. I never did bring up that he was racist.
I think it was an awesome comeback, to be honest. What's the problem? Let's move on. It was a great comeback. Thank you. Let's get Mr. Glenn and Mr. Marte up. And friends, we're going to wrap it up in like 15 minutes. Read the super chat before you go. There's more than 600 people watching the show. OG is one of the people that I most love on this space, okay? But we have some structure to do, and this is not going to be a black channel, OG. I already said this before, and I'll say this again. So once again, I appreciate my friends from Valhalla and my friends from Wakanda. Let's make sure that we get along, and if we don't, let's make sure that we punch in the face in a way that everybody can get home. There's no stump out people like it happened on Cincinnati. Glenn uninterrupted, Marte, and then I want final thoughts from everyone and the super chats afterwards. Go ahead, Glenn.
Thank you. I want to point out just what we just saw here a moment ago. There was a lack of accountability, blaming someone else for someone else's actions or behaviors, and it's a mindset thing. And then when you choose to say that I'm always a victim, it's never my fault. I don't have to be accountable or responsible for things that I do in my life. Let me tell you, I'm the common denominator in my life. All right, I'm the only thing that's the number one thing that's consistent. So whenever there's a problem or where there's something that's successful that happens, the only thing I can factor in that is me. So if I'm the common denominator in all of my problems, why don't I address that first before I actually address all the external things that I have no control over? If we have this mindset of it's someone else's responsibility or someone else's blame, we're choosing to be a victim, and we're choosing not to grow and not to actually really do anything. We don't want to make any change.
Well, what if it's true? Like sometimes people actually are victims. Like, what if it's true? Like, engage with whether or not it's true, not like whether or not. Well, like the point that like if they say that like, oh, I learned it from you. Obviously, if he's talking about the fact that like black people are violent,
well, he brought up
earlier that white people were violent for long periods of time, and they've inflicted some of the most violence around the world. Like he's not saying something that's untrue. And so if you're going to just say like, oh, you're it's just a victim mentality. Well, sometimes people are victims. Sometimes that makes sense.
Yes, but okay, you could be victimized, but to have a victim mentality is choose to accept it and not do anything to break free from it. You are choosing to victimize yourself over and over again over an issue.
The whole conversation has been about how to fix it.
No, the way the fix is a mindset. Change the mindset.
But you can acknowledge that something
do you know the
happened
difference
to
between
you.
victim and conscious?
Yeah.
What is the difference between victim and conscious to you?
Also, we have, it's gonna be a subjective.
I think that's what Tom was saying. I think that was Tom was saying. A lot of times, meet victim mentality, but you actually was victimized.
Right. The Russian dude's in this scenario in Cincinnati. The Russian dude is a victim in this case. I think we all agree.
Correct.
If he turns around and says, I was victimized in this case, we would turn around and be like, oh, that's a victim mentality, bro. How are you claiming to be a victim? You're not a victim.
The white woman. Let's go with the white woman. We all agree that the white woman
this is crazy.
was the victim. And let me just say this. Hey, Glenn, let me just say this real quick, right? The white woman was such a victim that now she did a GoFundMe. She has $170,000 and she deserves every penny. I hope she gets double, right? So a lot of times you are victim, like you have a victim mentality, but you were actually
you could be a victim, but then the victim mentality is now her blaming every African American that she ever comes across for doing something wrong that happened to her that night. That would be the victim mentality.
Glenn, what you're talking about is an overcorrection of victim mentality, and I get that.
Yeah.
So what you're talking about is when people are truly victims, but then they monopolize on this, and then they grift on this, and then they extend this into other communities, and then they tell their kids and indoctrinate those kids, and this is what he's talking about. So I agree with Glenn, even though I have some beef with him that I called him out on Roll with Samasi. We have some unfinished stuff we got to take care of.
Right, but I was saying make that argument. I was saying make that argument.
I will host that debate not right now. Okay, I have to sleep, but later. So you guys got it. Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't even have beef with you.
Marte is saying you have beef with Rolo. I need to talk a lot.
I called you out on Rolo. We got to
finish
that conversation.
We can do it anytime.
Cool, but let's do it.
I want to host that debate.
But I still didn't get my question answered, Fatty.
Repeat the question, please, and then final thoughts from
I asked Glenn, what's the difference between victim mentality and conscious?
Well, I would. You said to me, because I guess I could create my own definition here. Victim mentality is to live in the mindset that you are lower than, or because of a situation that you experience, that you are less than, and you're constantly blaming that thing on why you cannot go any further in life or not do anything else in life. For example, I was a victim of being falsely accused of a crime that I did not commit and was facing 14 years in prison at Leavenworth Penitentiary by the hand of a woman. Now, do I blame all women for that thing? Do I think that all women are wrong? No. I say I blame that woman. I was a victim to her lie. And because of that, I went through the process that I went through to vindicate myself and win my court case and prove my innocence. But I am not a victim, and I don't have the mentality where all women are evil and that they're all going to try to get over on men. No, that's not the victim. That's the victim.
Wait,
mentality.
hold on, Glenn. Are you saying you healed?
Glenn. Wait a minute. There were two.
I was on my journey.
There was two different things.
You were on your journey to healing.
I'll ask you two different things. Now, what is consciousness?
Consciousness is being aware, in my opinion, being aware of what your environment, what's going on. You're conscious of, or you're.
Those are two different things, OG. What are you talking about,
Hey,
bro?
wait. I'm talking to one. Wait. I'm not.
But it's the whole ass panel, OG.
I know, but I still ask.
I'm asking the whole time.
Okay, no. I'm just saying. I'm asking Glenn. He gave the definition for the first one. Can y'all let him give the definition for the second?
Yo, chill out. Let's have one mic, please.
That's fair. Let Glenn answer, then y'all can answer too. It's fine. Go ahead.
I already did. I said, in my opinion, it would be being present or aware of what's going on, or what you're experiencing.
So can you be a survivor and be conscious, and not have a victim mentality?
You're not a survivor of me.
No. Listen. I'm saying.
He said you're a victim in context.
Can you be a survivor?
Wait.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking.
Go ahead, OG. Explain what you want to say, OG, please.
I say. What I'm saying, can you be a survivor and have conscience and not have a victim mentality? Because I don't think there's nobody up here that I think is greater than me and couldn't stop me from doing anything.
Apparently, I'm the one who taught you to be racist.
Why not be a
Are you talking
victor?
about being conscious or
I
conscious?
just didn't want to talk to you, really.
I know you don't want to
Glenn
talk to
answer
me,
the
but I'm on
question?
the panel.
Well, I didn't
And
want
it's
to
my call it my white privilege.
I'm still asking Glenn, and I think
I'm still talking.
Were you through? Were you through, Glenn?
Well, I asked the question.
Okay,
Just for the choice of verbiage. Why did you choose survive rather than victor?
Because
like,
a lot of times y'all
over this instead of surviving something.
Okay, a lot of time y'all call people having a victim mentality, but what they really are survivors and conscious that these things can happen. It don't make them. They don't make them. You understand what I'm saying?
No, it makes sense.
If I go to the bank 5 times, right? If I go to the bank 5 times at 5 o'clock and I get robbed 4 times, all right, and if something hit me and boom in the head and say, you know what? Every time you went there, you went to that bank at 5 o'clock, you know, you got robbed. That's my conscience talking to me, right? It's not going to stop me from going to the bank, but I might be conscious of my surrounding to make sure I don't get robbed.
It makes sense. So you I know you were asking the question to Glenn, but you can definitely be. Like I said, you can be aware of the atrocities that happened to you in the past and still have a victor mentality and strive for greatness. You don't have to be stuck there, but you don't have to forget it either. So a lot of times, and Glenn, I have to kind of agree with OG, what you said is not black and white, because if you are a victim, you actually should be aware of what happened to you, and you should, for whatever reason, I don't think you should just, it looks like it's a dismissive, you see what I'm saying, type of statement.
No.
If somebody puts false allegations on the land, like for example, somebody put, I know your is the overcompensation, is a woman put false allegations on me, so now all women put false allegations, fuck them, da, 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 da. But I don't think there's a problem for you acknowledge that a lot of times things happen to you that completely outside of your control. And if a woman puts false allegations on you, there's no problem in you saying, you know what, I'm actually a victim, because there's nothing I can do.
If you make victimhood your identity and you gain other things and you try to compensate from this, and this is your identity and this is the whole of your nature, that's bad. This is who are you once you're not a victim, a bigger victim, because this is all you base your foundations off.
Or what if you are a victim?
And but Glenn's example was very analogous.
You hold, it's not your identity.
It's like, what if you was born in Palestine? You kind of are a victim, you see what I'm saying?
But Glenn's example is very analogous, because what OG is saying is that he's racist because of all white people. I didn't teach him shit. He just has an external locus of control. That is a victim mentality.
You think oh, wait a minute. See, this is how tunnel vision you have to be, because it was really a fucking joke. You can't teach me anything but other than who you are.
So why are you racist?
I say what? I'm not racist. I don't have the power to stop you. Wait a minute. I don't have the power to stop you from shitting. I don't have the power to stop you from going in your bank and get your bank account out.
Do I have the power to stop you from doing that?
No. I don't have no power to stop you.
No, I don't. But I do in your mind, because you're a victim.
If somebody read, wait. If somebody read the definition of racist, you will see
the new definition.
There's no way in hell I could be a racist.
Only white people can do that. So you're a white supremacist too. You don't have the capacity to do something that I do.
Racist. What are you talking about, OG?
I can be
prejudiced. Is another white supremacist.
I can be prejudiced. I can be prejudiced. I can be biased, but I can't be a racist.
You can be racist.
I can't be racist.
Okay.
Crazy.
I got you.
I can't be racist either, because I don't have any of those abilities that you just listed over anyone.
Thank you. I never called you Glenn. I never called you one.
I know. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying I can never be racist either, because I'm not in that
I never
position.
called you one.
The black people.
Of race. Go ahead.
No. Finish your statement.
OG's definition of racist is inherently white supremacist. He's saying he doesn't have the capacity, the ability to do something that I do because he's black and I'm white. All right.
And friends, the conversation about can black people be racist is going to be held in 2 weeks. Thank you very much for giving me the perfect segue to go.
Can I get make sure I'm on that, please. I've been having that fight for weeks. Please put me on that.
Absolutely. Don't even worry about that. Let's get the final thoughts for everybody, and then
I just wanted to ask the panel a quick question, Fatty.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
How many of you guys agree that this is actually a mindset problem? Choosing to adopt a victim mindset or a loser mindset or a quitter mindset, rather than choosing to adopt a victorious mindset. I'm gonna conquer mindset.
Yes.
I'm gonna,
I think it's problematic. I'll raise my hand. Absolutely. I think Napah is not hearing us, but the rest of it. I think you putting yourself in a position where you think there's nothing you can do is kind of like a lot of times you are the passenger or you are the co-pilot on your own car. It's a movie. Something happens to you. People did something to you. I think your mindset always should be, if something wrong is happening to me, I have to do the best my ability to actually run away from this to try to get better. And if you are stuck, then you can become a victim. This is why I brought the Palestine example, because when people are actually trying to get away, if you are actually a slave and you wake up every day and you try to do what's best for you, but people put you back in chains, hey, that's who you are. It is what it is. But on this state, and once again, Flow State actually had a great point coming back. The same way OG can do nothing to Flow State that actually can impair Arnie's rights and all that. Flow State can do nothing back to you, OG too. So
okay, so
kind of fair to say that on a global effect, the people that you actually pointed out don't dress like Flow State, don't have a ad to the back. No, they have suits and ties, and they are so up there that even if I ask Tom and Flow State, hey, can you give me the number of the superiors? They said nope. There's a very small group, and you are not allowed in. So it is what it is.
So that means somebody who said something earlier about genetics, if they agree along with them, then they're going to have a problem. Because if you have in your history, historically, you thought you was better than other people and you mistreated other people. And so you're saying that you can pass a bad gene in genetics, but you can't pass that kind of mindset in genetics. Then all the people who agreed along with the young lady earlier or the young guy who was saying that, then you have to take a step back and reevaluate what you're agreeing to.
This
and
is going to be
why I say reason why I say what I say, Fatty, is due to the fact is, why is it we start to make the person who got raped, I said it with a G, more of the conversation than the person who did the crime? And this is what I see.
That's what Glenn said.
Wait a minute. This is what I see done too often.
No, OG, that's what Glenn said. Just because you got raped doesn't make you a perpetual victim. You were victimized, right? But I'm going to say acknowledge the atrocities that people did to you, but you have to move forward. You have to strive for greatness. You have to take care of your kids. You have to take care of your house. You have to heal yourself. So if you state of that permanent state of victimhood, this is when actually it usually goes to shit, because people relish on their pain. People get depressed. People lose their mama. People lose their job. And now instead of crying in the pillow but waking up every day to actually do what's better for them, they stay over there. Like, we don't want nobody to actually be on that state of mind, even though that doesn't deny the fact they were actually victims in some point of period of time. You see what I'm saying, OG?
I'm sorry for raping you.
I got what you I got what you're saying, Fatty, but and nowhere in my conversation ever that I was said that I champion the victim mentality. What I say is, well, I agree with that part of it, but if you go make that to be the over scheme of this conversation, that's not true, because I said consciousness. Consciousness.
I don't believe in those things.
Well, I understand. I'm just saying consciousness. If something happened to you and it happened to you over and over, or certain things happening in your life over and over, it takes the consciousness of you to even want to do better, step around and jump over it or whatever. You being conscious that these things can happen. That's what I'm saying is, some people are just survivors and they're conscious. They don't look at themselves as being victims.
I think there's only two choices we have in life at the end of the day. We can either make moves or we can make excuses in anything that we're dealing with. We can either...
You don't only have two choices, though. That's the thing. Why you keep making it binary? You can make better choices. You can make you can make better choices based on facts. If you actually acknowledge the truth and acknowledge what is real, you're able to make better choices. And if this is true, that you actually have these problems, you can make better choices. Like he brought up earlier when he gave the bank example where he's getting robbed every day at the same exact time. If he's actually getting robbed every day at the same time, it's probably a good choice to go at a different fucking time to the bank.
And he's not making excuses, right? He just made the choice.
You're actually agreeing with Glenn here. He's saying the same thing, Tom.
I think
Well, show's over. Hope y'all enjoyed it. But nah, Don't dip yet. We still got them final thoughts coming.
Y'all really tore it up tonight, huh? But don't dip just yet. Let's hear them final words.
Hey, that's it. Show's done. Now shut the fuck up and let the panelists speak. It's time for final thoughts.
Sorry to cut you off, Tom. Let's start with Tom, and then we go from there. We're going to read the super chat as soon as we get to the final thoughts. Go ahead, Tom. Uninterrupted.
Yeah, the problem that I had was with the binary that was being represented, because it's kind of the way that it's been presented over and over, is that it's like one or the other. It's these two options. Either you have the victim mentality and you blame things on being a victim, or you move on and try to, create better options for yourself in the future. Whereas I'm saying, like, it has to always be a mixture of the things. And so especially if we're talking about the way that Black people interact within society and like problems that have happened historically, we can fix these problems moving forward if we acknowledge the mistakes that were made in the past, and hopefully we can improve moving forward for Black people and white people and society overall. But we can't do that if we say, because I agree that a lot of people will say, oh, well, this is just a problem because of white people, or this is all whiteness, or this is all just racism. Like, there are some people who do that, but it seems like a lot of people just get more defensive than anything, where anytime these conversations are had and it's not all blamed just on this one thing, it's just something that they're acknowledging, a lot of people will still get upset about it and kind of fight against that idea, saying that you just have a victim mentality, when all it is just recognizing the truth.
Thank you very much, Tom. No, you don't need to. You're not getting no award. Flow State, please.
Yeah. First of all, you're a killer with the AI. You got good AI clips.
I need the carpet bomb.
The carpet bomb is good.
I'm not.
So it's definitely a victim mentality. Anytime that you use something external to you to justify your own behavior, you're disempowering yourself, and it's an external locus of control. And it's not good for the person using it, nor the person who's the object of it. And I guess I'm sorry for graping you, OG.
That's
it.
OG. Final thought is
Do you accept his apology?
Well,
OG, chance to respond.
Number one is, if you was trying to have a dick measuring contest with me, I'll just pull out enough to win.
Gay.
That's number one. And you ain't raping nothing. You probably have problems with your shit getting out of your nuts without tweezers. So
okay,
you ain't raping nothing but yourself. So number two, what I try to understand when I come in these spaces, me being 66 years old, I don't like to come in and really sun people. But what I see in these spaces is the younger people, or the people in between the younger people and the people, they don't understand we all have past. We all have things that we see. We have things that we experience. And if I could accept the things that you are experiencing in your life, then you should be able to expect the things the truth that I tell the experience in my life. I have never been a victim. My father and my mother never raised me as a victim, but they did raise me as being conscious. So when I came to Hollywood, I probably could have been in the Diddy thing with the oil and all the other bullshit that they do in Hollywood. But I worked in Hollywood for 35 years unscathed, because I came with a foundation in consciousness, not as a victim. I came here to do a job, and I did a job well. And I seen when other people were victimized, and then I came to their fight. So what I'm saying is, a lot of times that y'all want to call people victims, bad behavior is bad behavior. And I don't know what Dusty is talking about. It's all your experience in life to make you who you are. If you just don't get to be born as a baby, and all of a sudden you just grow up and you have no experience and you conduct yourself. It's things that happen to you in life that shapes you in life. So what you said earlier, I don't know where that comes from. Peace and love, and always strive for. You can shake your head all you want to, bro. We ain't no sermon.
Thank you very much, OG and Flow State, for pulling up. I appreciate y'all. Let's get Glenn here with the final thoughts. Glad to have you back, Glenn. I appreciate you. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think really how you choose to view the world and what you put your limitations on you is really what's going to end up happening. If you believe that things are shitty and you cannot get away with it, can't move and increase your station in life or move past your obstacles, then you're right. But if you think you can and you have the ability to overcome the obstacles that you are facing, then I believe you're right as well. It really, again, comes down to mindset. You know, my stepdad, who is a black man, all right, I have black siblings, did not raise us to allow to be victims or to make excuses for ourselves. He always said the world does not like you. The world's not going to coddle you. The world doesn't care about you. If you want anything in this world, you have to do it yourself. Don't expect anybody to give you handouts or don't expect people to help you. And that's what I grew up believing and understanding. That's how the world was. So he didn't have a victim mindset. He didn't blame, you know, his place or what happened to him on and to raise me differently. He loved me like I was his own son. He didn't see my skin color as any different. And I find we use trivial things at times and grow them out of proportion. Not saying that they're not a real effect there, but we actually give it more credit and more power than it actually has. And we need to take back our power rather than allow something to have power over us.
Thank you very much once again, Glenn. And once again, in 2 weeks, we're going to have Breaking Ground. We're going to try to alternate the Breaking Ground with the Battle of Sexes. Okay? Next week, Battle of Sexes, and then Breaking Ground once again. So thank you very much, Glenn. I appreciate it. Tina, final thoughts?
Yeah, whether you call it a victim mindset or lack of accountability, I think society struggles with accountability and some people more than others. I think this whole conversation has been about accountability. I think no matter what situation you're in, you can take some level of accountability in anything. As far as like everything that we were discussing, even like the fight and all of that, yeah, the guy was beaten down pretty bad, but you know, I have this this saying, and I know a lot of people say it: fuck around and find out. When you're in the streets, you don't go around and act like that. It doesn't justify what was done, but he has a level of accountability that he needs to take for instigating a fight. And I think that the whole acting like a victim, it's been glamorized, and for what reason, I don't know. But I don't subscribe to that. Just take accountability, realize what you did was wrong, and then move on.
Thank you very much, Tina. I appreciate you. Marte?
Okay, I'm going to address OG and then tomfoolery, and then I'm going to proceed with my closing statements. I'll make this quick. OG, you contradicted yourself plenty of times, but one of the blatant things you said was, oh, I meant with a G, and then you proceeded to use R twice. So, I mean, as far as Powder Dusty, I think he won the exchange. But back to Glenn, Glenn's point with tomfooleries, I think that we can create binary examples of this. When we start having this discussion of saying, no, it's not a false binary, we start ushering in the door and leaving door crack for excuses to come in. But, well, there's also this, and this is what happens in the community. They'll say, well, no, because what Napah was talking about, that's why I hate white people and all that. It's like, we're just making more excuses. So I think that we should push more of a, what you call false binary. I think we should say black or white, meaning right or wrong. I'm not saying that I'm making a allegory of the two, by the way, don't accuse me of racism, but I'm just saying that it should be black and white when we say we want our kids to do evil or good. There should be a binary conversation had, and we should push this, not saying, well, there's all these other factors and all this. This is leaning more towards excuses, and I think we should push binaries. I think that's good, and it promotes a great system for us to integrate honor youth. I think that's good. Anyways, I'll land my plane there.
Hey, Fatty, I wanted to debate this coconut on any subject you want to. Since he addressed me, I didn't address him.
Totally fine, friends. We're going to do.
What coconut are you talking about?
We are going to do.
You go ahead.
Friends, one second. I'll allow you, friends. We're going to do something. We're going to scratch the rage in a cage. We're going to do something called SmackDown Saturdays, which is just debate days. If y'all want to be a part of it and you have a problem like OG and Marte, come to me. And on
You just
Saturday,
gonna have me abuse senior citizens up in here on your channel? That's crazy.
hey, y'all, yeah, there's squabbling out there now.
Look,
Yeah.
hey, my brother, I will whoop your ass with a bow tie suit with some goddamn
Let me get you a
dress
wheelchair
shoes
first.
on.
You got to
And
see.
let me tell you this much. I seen better in my sleep. You already got your ass whooped today. And the day before.
You said, oh, I
you
meant to
got
say
your
with the
ass whooped
grapes.
today and day
My
before.
bad. And then I said
Yeah,
twice.
you got your you always getting your ass
Jeopardize
whooped.
Police channel.
You
Babies
get
for
whooped by
next week.
women or men, children too. I mean, you
OG is a situation he can't win. If he yells at the old man, then he loses. If he doesn't yell at the old man,
Hey,
he loses.
wait, just a goddamn minute. Hey, wait, just a goddamn minute. I'm special.
Yeah,
I ain't like no old man you ever seen.
Yeah, you hella
Wait. I ain't like no old man you ever seen in your fucking life.
Yeah, you definitely are. You like to
none.
I guarantee you,
I guarantee you, I guarantee you, everybody on this panel, man-wise, I can outrun, I can outbox, I can outfight, I can outlift every fucking man on this country. You ain't never seen no old man like me.
Guilty. He's better than me and all those things. But Napah needs to give her final statements, so you can now read the super chats and leave. So friends, save the ketchup for next week. I'll read all the super chats from all the pages. So please, if you want to get your super chat read, just wait a second. Napah, final thoughts on Marte. Thank you very much for always being easy to work with, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay, first of all, I want to say thank you, Fatty, for letting me join this very controversial conversation. I love these kind of conversations, to be honest, whether I'm the most popular or the least popular. I think these are important conversations. The issue about violence and race, I never, ever would say people should not be accountable for their actions. However, we need to get to the core of why there is so much violence or, so much different types of negative behaviors in certain cultures. It's not just Blacks. There's the highest rate of teen suicide happen. Excuse me, I'm sorry to say that on your channel. Unaliving self is amongst Native Americans. Had we been speaking about unaliving self, I would have brought up that type of epigenetic encoding. So for me, like I said, I appreciate the conversation. I think people should be realistic. Black people, being a Black person myself, we should be realistic. I am not bashing Black people by saying that Black people are violent for a reason, and that I blame the not just slavery, the other systemic racism that Black people face throughout history. So in case I'm going too long, I just want to say thank you, and hopefully we can continue this conversation. Come on over, to my channel. I'll drop the link or whatever you do, but you're going to be there. You're going to be there, Fatty. You said tomorrow, but then you said you're doing.
No. When I say tomorrow means I have no, like, everybody on the panel can say this. I'm the easiest person to walk around. You say, Fatty, let's go where? I said when.
No, I've seen you go everywhere.
All right, so I don't take this personal, Napah. But that's the thing. You have an extremely assertive personality, and so does the fat one, right? And I'm suppressing myself because I'm trying to get this shit to work. And I don't want to snap on nobody because, once again, I'm trying to get this to work. So you bring a tremendous amount of value, and I want you to be here for as long as possible, and I'll try to retribute the favor. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much.
I loved it. It's great.
Miss
And I will
Athena.
see you soon.
Absolutely. Everyone link is in the description once again.
But I interacted with you before on the panel, but you don't remember. You were being the rage in the cage, Fatty. This was a while ago.
How long was this?
It was probably last year.
You probably deserve that shit.
You know, I don't think you
Probably deserve that shit. This, hey,
don't
hey,
think you
corporate
remember you
fatty,
got beaten up.
corporate fatty to the rescue, friends. I appreciate you once again. Thank you very much for the 9K subs. Tremendous show. We are going tomorrow. Tomorrow. Rage in the Cage, not Rage in the Cage. The infamous Ladies First show. We're going to talk about monsters. What turns men into villains? Mr. Hugh Hefner, the Playboy bachelor, became a villain after his wife cheated on him. So we're going to talk about it. Please, friends, once again, we need to be pushed by the algorithm. So every time you see a pre-recorded video, click on them. They are pushing us so faster. So please go ahead and push on it, and I'll give you a preview for the video we're going to post tomorrow at midday. Just 30 seconds for you.
Going back to what I said originally, which you did not answer. If you believe that gender roles are bull, then why the hell are so many of you on the internet right now crying for men to operate the way they did when the only thing that mattered was gender roles? It don't make sense. You expect men to be from the 1950s while you operate in 2025 doing whatever the hell you want, whenever the hell you want. It doesn't work like that. And as far as you saying, oh, well, you men ain't leading nothing. You couldn't even flush your toilet if it wasn't for a man. You don't know what you're talking about. You wouldn't even be on this internet if it wasn't for a man. You wouldn't be able to go to the grocery store and get food if it wasn't for a man. You wouldn't even have tampons and maxi pads if it wasn't for a man. And also, if it wasn't for a man, you wouldn't have nobody to argue with right now.
So friends, once again, I appreciate y'all. Super chats, and we are out.
Buckle up, everyone. It's time for some super chats.
I'm going to read the super chats of everyone that has the channel link first, and then I'll kick you out and read my super chats last, okay?
Just
so
real quick for my chat, we're not done. We still got a long way to go. Y'all don't head anywhere, but go follow Team Fatty.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Tom. Once again, all the links are going to be on the description. Agril, what is the name of this person?
Agrillapolis.
Agrillapolis. She or he? He gifted 15 untouchable, not untouchable, the Power Dusty memberships and $50. Oh my God! Look at you! Thank you very much for supporting the Powder Dusty. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Super donations. We have Cake Mix saying nothing, just a super seeker. Thank you very much, Cake Mix. Once again, I appreciate you. We go down here. Let me see if I can find more. We have we have Nuke Keys. No, Nuke Seas, maybe. Nuke Seas with 400 Austrian dollars, not Australian. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Thank you. Let's keep going down and see if we can find more foreign support. We have Clue Studio. You traitor. He was from Wakanda, and now he's on Valhalla. Pussy. He says, long time no see, OG Speed. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you. Salute to you. Only Mr. Bill says, where can I buy the Victim Dictionary? Aww. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you. So let's read the rest ones. Dark Lake Revive. He says, talk to Israel about proportion, not black Hulk. Thank you very much. We have Doug. He says, Glenn on the panel, let's go get them my We have Fuck Sim saying, Fatty, I hope to see you on AD on Mondays. I am kept at one visit a month, so I'm probably going to be there by the end of the month. Again, go ahead and bribe Alangal Q so I can go there and do my job. So thank you very much. I appreciate you, sir. Thanks for the support and for the love. Tio, Untouchable Empire Executive says, white people do the same thing. LOL. Y'all haven't seen bar brawls? When you strike one in the group will get on you. Stop the bullshit. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Damn, I found my button.
Got Untouchable Empire, baby.
Oh, wee. I found my button. God damn it. It was in the whole show. Shout out to just my 4 cents and it's damaged people. Damaged people. As a fact, OG Speed. OG, I love you, man. I don't want you to doubt this shit, but we will motherfucking fight. OG, as soon as I start to get grace, OG, as soon as I start to get grace, is no gloves, no nothing. Because now I'm an elder now. So you better enjoy these 2 years before you get the elbows. The OG says, what are you, European? Thank you very much. I appreciate you. The best editor in the game, player 1 with 1 untouchable membership. Damn, wrong button.
Got Untouchable Empire, baby.
Thank you very much, player 1. And once again, thank you very much for all your effort. 9K, a lot. Thank to you. So I appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much. Doug, MPA $2 says, Flow State on the panel too. Great panel. We have 15 to go. It's Theo. He says, if I slap Glenn in front of his group of friends on a night out, I bet you they will jump me. That goes for anybody on the panel. Not the Tina friends. The Tina friends will call 911. They will not. They will say, please help. Thank you very much, Theo. Just my 4 cents, $2. I get what Napah is saying. She is correct. Thank you very much. We have the sponsor of the show, John Henry, with $5 saying, I understand this edit not being for the carelessness of using a racial slur. None of these would be a topic of discussion. Can we all agree on that? There was confronting reports about the racial slur, John. That's why I didn't want to talk about that, because it's allegedly is not approved. Theo comes back again and says, man, people have been snitching for decades. LOL, they say no snitching, but most of them are snitching. Woo-wee. Shout out to Theo. We have $10 from just my 2 cents. For somebody that only has 4 cents, you are actually a good supporter. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you.
Trump got these prices going up. Woo-wee. Let's go. 1 fatty burger, please.
He says, Yahweh gave Moses 613 laws to govern black people from the minute we wake to the second we sleep, because we are special people that need special attention, or we will destroy ourselves and everyone else. Marte, don't do it. I saw you lean into the microphone. Don't do it. Thank you very much. Just my 4 cents. I appreciate you. John Henry comes back and says 6 million Jewish people deleted. Thank you very much. We have Corey in the building. He says, I don't think it was anything to do with consequences. Probably was not even a thought. I think it's the disregard for life. No value in human life. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. King Sony is in the building saying, facts, Tom. John Henry says, Tom just spoke. We are almost there, friends. Mr. Bullet, $10 says, this guest appearance of Glenn Lawrence is brought to you by Tactical Soap from Grand Dyke Soap Company. Wash away the gen dirt with the soap that cuts through feminism funk. Try Tactical Soap today. Can I wash my balls with that soap? Damn. When I go to the United States, I'll get 2 bars. Thank you very much for the promo. I appreciate you. We have just my 2 cents, $2 says, but black practice and righteousness as a culture. Thank you very much. King Sony back and says, no, it's not. We get convicted the most, but we get overturned the most too. Thank you very much. We have King Sony back again, and he says, that's not the fact. I appreciate you. And John Henry with the big 100 ball donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hard worth money. I don't even know how to say this. It's money that you actually work hard to get. So I appreciate y'all supporting. Thank you very much, John Henry, the sponsor of the show.
Sir, for $100, what's the craziest thing you do?
The craziest thing I do is listen to your ass all day.
Ma'am, for $100, what's the craziest thing you do?
For $100, I'll let his baby mama braid my hair and then fight her.
Damn, only $100? I look like some cheap hoe.
Could have fooled me.
Yo, all jokes aside, dead ass, $100? Nah, for real, I appreciate you. That's love from my boy Fatty, feeding the untouchable empire out here.
Thank you very much, Johnny says, if the level of violence between races were to be tailed from the Crusades, the Salem witch trials, the Spanish Inquisition, transatlantic slave trade, slavery, the Holocaust, and Jim Crow, you couldn't possibly fix your mouth to say blacks are more violent. Thank you very much, John. Once again, I appreciate you. We're almost there, friends. More 5 to go. With CEO says they jump in. Oh,
you better get him back. You better go down there and get him back.
OG fought back. Thank you very much. Sony says, Dusty, why you keen ever I violent creep crime? Damn. Thank you very much. Lol Dog says, with a $10 ball, I appreciate you, sir. He says, OG is just coping for bad behavior and people acting like spoiled toddlers, throwing tantrums, and being violent because my feelings is childish and disgusting. Grow up. Thank you very much. We have Angry Stone Man with his 11-month membership. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you.
Untouchable empire, baby.
He said, then the conscience of the conscience of the person who did it, the shit to you, don't put the responsibility on everyone that look like that one person. Very fair statement. Thank you very much. Final, the last from Tio with $10. I appreciate you, Tio. Thank you very much.
We got $10.
Sir, do you have any change?
Nah, motherfucker, I'm broke.
Tio says, cause there's no need for a long conversation for the rapist, cause either put him in jail or put him down. But the person that got raped is needed for a longer conversation to try and avoid it. Thank you very much, Tio. I appreciate it. John Henry, the last one, the sponsor of the show, he says, Yahweh never existed. Aww. If anyone wants to debate John Henry on this, he feels very strongly about, let me know, and I will schedule it. And finally, the Powder Dusty helps us achieve all goals of the day with 5 untouchable memberships. So thank you very much, Powder Dusty. I truly appreciate you for helping us with our goals.
I believe that there's multiple so-called black leaders who believe that they are untouchable.
Got untouchable empire, baby.
Friends, it's time to end the show. Once again, I appreciate y'all. Marte, OG, Tom Foolery, Glenn Lawrence, Athena, Flow State, and Napah. Team Fatty and the Untouchables, signing out. Peace.
Black people can't be racist. Prejudice, yes, but not racist. Racism describes a system of disadvantage based on race. Black people can't be racist since we don't stand to benefit from such a system.
And this whole march adds drama to this total
It is known in the black community that most, not all, but most black people are racist toward white Americans.
You say it's known. What do you mean? Where's your basis for that?
They have been brainwashed over the last 50 years or so to believe that America is a racist society and that white folks are trying to hold them back.
They told us we wouldn't get here. Now with those who said that we would get here only over their dead bodies. All the world today knows that we are here and we are standing before the forces of power in the state of Alabama saying we ain't gonna let nobody turn us
country with nothing. He couldn't even speak the language. But he worked hard and he made a place for himself and his family. Now why can't you people do the same? Hey, my grandfather built this country, man!
Let's talk about George Floyd. You said George Floyd's death was a terrible thing.
Terrible.
Why are African Americans still dying at the hands of law enforcement in this country?
And so are white people. So are white people. What a terrible question to ask. So are white people. More white people, by the way. More white people.